Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Games Done Quick hotfix on this fantastic Friday evening. This is Challenger Approaching, the show that features challenge runners and the challenge runs they perform. My name is Adef, and tonight joining us we have Dangers on Comms and the ever wonderful Fur Underscore playing Super Mario 3D World, 243 stars, Damageless, and we'll get into what that all means in just a moment, but a few quick announcements. First of all, Frost Fatale's game and volunteer submissions are now open until the 14th. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. If you miss out on any GDQ hotfix shows, check out our archive of past runs and shows at youtube.com/gamesdonequick. And after this show is Legally Cute, featuring Rain World and Karma Flow. Tune in on Monday for the Community Spotlight, featuring Marvel's Spider-Man and Miles Morales, PS5, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. And with that, Fur, how are you, my friend?
Hello, Adef. I'm doing all right.
I'm glad to hear that. Fur, are you excited to be playing Super Mario 3D World on your Nintendo Switch this evening?
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good time.
Excellent. And Dangers, how are we?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I think the last time the three of us were gathered here was for Super Mario Odyssey stuff, potentially.
That sounds about right. Maybe like 4 or 5 times this month. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Gamers, we're just doing some quick tech change-a-rooney. Fur's going to be popping his stream real quick. But while that happens, gamers, let me entertain you with the sultry sounds of my voice and the sultry sounds of the even sultriest Dangers, can you tell us a little bit about the run we're going to see this evening?
I would love to. And yes, sultriest, we're going to make that a word, I think.
Thank you.
That's great. I love the way that just rolls right off the tongue.
Yes.
So, Super Mario 3D World. We're actually playing on the Switch version, like you said, Fur's Nintendo Switch. The idea of a damageless run is pretty straightforward. It's a no-hit run. The idea is we're going to start the game, finish the game, not necessarily as fast as we possibly can, despite this being a speed run stream. This is Challenger Approaching, so sometimes we beat games in difficult ways, this being without taking any hits of damage, and that includes anything. That includes falling off the stage, that includes, getting hit by an enemy, that includes, those double cherries. If you lose your partner, if you lose one of your copies, that counts as damage, right? So anything that if you ran out of time on the timer, we're not going to see that happen, but all those things would count as damage. So we're trying to beat the game as fast as we can under those parameters. Or not necessarily as fast as we can. You know what I mean?
I do.
Yeah.
All right. Fur, you can give a countdown whenever you're ready.
All right. I will give the countdown. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun.
Good luck, Fur. Now, I have a question for you. Why 243? What is the significance of the number 243?
All right. So
why not 242? What the heck?
So 243 is every single star before beating the game, essentially.
So it's like a 100% no post game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and that's important, everybody at home, because 380, I believe, is the correct amount of 100% green stars in the game. Is that right, Fur?
Yes.
When you beat the game, you end up unlocking a bunch of bonus worlds and stuff like that, and they have their own green stars. This game also has a handful of other collectibles, such as stamps, and also collecting the top of the flagpole is also considered a collectible in this game, so it makes a difference to the progression of this game that you actually touch the top of every single flagpole in the game. But
that only matters for 380.
Exactly. Those are post-game requirements because the final bonus world requires all of the green stars up to that point, all of the stamps, and all of the tops of the flagpoles. But because we're not going to be going to that post-game content, 243 stars is all we need. So we don't need to collect the stamps, and we don't need to collect the top of the flagpole.
There's a question in the chat room for you, for underscore, and it's a pivotal one that I think we're going to have to answer a few times this evening. Are you ready?
Am I ready? Well, I'm trying my best. I know we have at least we should have a hit counter on screen or something like that, or we will if I take damage. I'm just hoping I can avoid doing that until we're at least late in the run.
I think I perhaps misspoke because I asked a question at the end of when I said I was going to ask a question, so it seemed like that was the question. But in fact, there's a forthcoming question. Whenever you're ready for the forthcoming question.
What's the forthcoming question?
Why Luigi?
Why Luigi? He jumps higher, and I think he runs a little faster than Mario as well.
Excellent. And
Yes,
also, at some point, why Toad and why Payak?
So I am personally not going to play as Toad on any of these levels. In like the speed run, some of the levels are faster as Toad, if I'm remembering right. But throughout my attempts doing Damageless, I've just sort of picked up the preference of playing as Luigi. So I usually just play as him. That being said, I will be Peach on a few levels because a few levels are a lot easier with Peach because of her ability to float. And yeah, there's some levels I don't want to do without that ability.
Yeah, to kind of break down this game a little bit further, all 4 characters have some sort of special characteristic about them. Toad runs extremely fast, but at the cost of jump height. So he can tend, like if you're speedrunning this game as like a beginner, he can tend to be like the most optimal choice just because you might not have your movement down, but Toad compensates for that just by going faster. So he's good for a speedrunning beginner. Peach is kind of middle of the road when it comes to speed and jump height, but she can float. So she can typically cross gaps that other characters can't. And kind of give you a little extra lifeline if you miss a jump, for example. Luigi is probably just the best platforming character because he jumps higher, and I think he does run a little bit faster at the cost of being like a tiny bit slippery, which hopefully that doesn't cause problems. I think Fur's got a lot of practice with Luigi that might not happen.
I do, but it could cause problems still.
And then
you
Mario,
never know what'll happen.
And then Mario has nothing. So
yeah, Mario's just so average that you don't really ever have a reason to play as him. In 380 stars, you have to play as them, I think, once because there's a stamp that requires you to play as Mario because there's a little button you press as Mario. But since we're doing 243 today, I don't need to do that.
Also, what's this little Mickey Mouse hand that keeps appearing?
Oh, that?
Yeah.
So this game originally came out on the Wii U. And one of the things they had on the Wii U was like some touchpad sort of integration with the Wii U's weird controller. And to implement that into this game, they used the gyro sensor on the controller. And like whenever I tap the R button, it'll appear. And I can also recenter it by tapping the L button. And yeah, we can use this to our advantage. The main thing that matters is it can freeze stuff, because I don't know why Nintendo decided to let us do that, but it's very, very powerful, and I am going to abuse it a lot because I can.
I think that's a fair justification.
Yeah. It's just the typical, like, hey, this is a vanilla speed feature in the game. I'm going to abuse it as a speedrunner / challenge runner.
It's also the big magic. Oh, it also plants flowers? Okay, I'm sold.
It does. If you hold it down on grass, it makes flowers appear.
It's got lots of
If you played
really
this game, you
cool
might not
benefits.
even know this.
Yeah.
I think
So.
the big magic moving from the Wii U version is that the running speed of every character has been increased for the
Yes.
Switch version. And it is like,
It has.
as somebody that has played way more of the Wii U version than the Switch version, it's so noticeable.
The movement tech has drastically changed between the two games. If you were a fan of the speedrun, you can recognize that instantly. It used to be that the fastest way to move around in this game was to do, like, I don't even remember what they call it, but like a cat buffer. Basically, you need the cat suit for the whole run because you can like dive at the ground, and right before you hit the ground, you can do a swipe, and that kind of carries your absolute top speed momentum. So you just do that a bunch over and over again. Whereas like the top speed of all the characters in this version, the Switch version, is as fast as that just by picking up to running speed. So it's a lot of like vectoring, which again, if you watch Odyssey speedruns, people talk about vectoring a lot. This idea that you like zigzag through the air as you're jumping, and it kind of just like carries your forward and also your sideways momentum all at once to make you go even faster than you were before. So the movement tech is a lot of that now. And, you know, you might see Fur doing a little bit of that in, like, some big, wide open spaces where he doesn't have to worry about getting hit by enemies. But
Yeah.
that's the typical speed tech of this game now.
Yeah, there's also crouch boosting, which I'm pretty sure this was still in the Wii U version. I could be wrong,
little
though. I
bit.
never played the Wii U
Yeah.
version. But crouch boosting is another thing where it's like, oh, you pretty much crouch and uncrouch and jump immediately whenever you hit the ground, and that makes you go even faster. So some runners who like just do normal speedruns are able to do some pretty crazy things like that. Like, I would recommend, if you're curious about the speedrun of this game, to look up the IL world record for like just maybe like 1-1 or something like that in this game, and they'll beat the level in like 14 seconds or something like that.
And I mean, if you're
it's
really
pretty crazy.
curious, if you're really curious, just search up PD Boo on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because PD Boo is kind of like the absolute king, the legend of this game, and some of the ILs and stuff and the speedruns that they've done are just like a marvel to watch.
I think the most beautiful IL in this game is was it 4-2? The first ice skating level. I can't remember the...
I know which one you're talking about.
It's like nutty.
Yeah, it's wild what you can get away with in this game with like momentum carrying and stuff like that.
Yeah, this game has a lot of speed strats that just let you go really fast. We don't really take advantage of them that much in Damageless because
You want to be
I
careful.
don't want to take damage. Like here, we don't necessarily have the same, I guess, stakes as if I were streaming this, but when I was doing 380 star attempts to beat the game Damageless, which is something I have done, I've collected all 380 stars in this game without taking damage in a single run. When I was originally doing that, you know, if I messed up, I had to stop and start over. Here we don't have to worry about that as much, but if I do mess up, I do lose my dignity. So, a lot on the line here still.
It's also, I mean, this, you know, it's just something you don't really think about in casual play, how versatile the touchscreen was in the Wii U gamepad. But, you know, the second you watch an 80% run of this game, it's like used everywhere. I mean, you can see for using the touch, I mean, it's not touchscreen anymore, but the gyro mechanic to just press all the switches.
Yeah. It definitely trivializes some of the levels. That's for sure.
And so much easier to use with the Switch version as well, because you can imagine, like, I don't know if we've explained how it works on the Switch version, because you don't have a gamepad. We're not using a gamepad for this because there is no gamepad on the Switch unless you like undock. But the idea with this cursor is that it like follows your gyro motions with your controller. So you like press a button to activate the cursor to appear on the screen, and then you just kind of like rotate your hands around, and that is where the cursor is going to point. And you can reset it if your hands end up going kind of off. So that's how it controls. Like, you don't need an extra hand, or like you don't need to stop holding the controller to like touch the screen or anything like that. So I honestly think it's very well implemented into the Switch versus the way that it was on the Wii U.
I would agree. There's also a few instances where the microphone in the Wii U gamepad was used in this game.
Yes, yeah.
Where you had to blow into the controller.
Yeah, there's a level coming up where that was kind of the main gimmick, is these like moving platforms could be moved up and down by, I guess, like activating the fans in them by blowing into the microphone. In this game, obviously that's not possible either, so those platforms just move on a cycle now.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure you just tap them. Maybe, well, some of them move on a cycle,
Yeah,
but
that level,
there are other platforms in there that you just tap.
Yeah, that level was a combination of the two, because there were tapping platforms and there were also blowing platforms.
Okay.
So the blowing ones are just on a cycle now.
All right, we're on our first castle.
No hits yet.
No hits. I mentioned this to you before this run, but I would have been disappointed if I took a hit in World 1, which still could happen.
Yeah, World 1's not over yet, Chief. So, you know.
Yeah. People in the chat are screaming, "Why are you jinxing yourself, Fur?"
That's
The
why are you,
answer
Fur?
is this
chat.
is just this is what I talk. This is how I just talk when I do damages. I'm sorry, but
Also, they added cutscene skips. Which is
is that
just...
not in the original?
No.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep, you cannot skip the like castle intro cutscenes in the Wii U version. They also add, there's like some added movement tech as well. You see Fur do it every once in a while, but you can dive in midair like in Odyssey. That's also not in the Wii U version.
Yeah, it's honestly a really nice thing to be able to do. I use it a ton.
Wow, this
Also
is so
translates
broken.
well. Yeah, the
so
cursor in this
broken.
fight, all you need to do is kind of like swipe up and towards Bowser, and it just gets the hits like that.
Yeah, it can be a bit weird though. Like I missed the second one there, but yeah, it's one of those things where once you get a hang of it, it's a lot easier. There we go. That's World 1. Not a bad start, if I do say.
For what was the, I'd love an explanation for the gamers in the chat as to what that tech is where when you're climbing on the wall, it's like the cat refresh. Like,
Oh, so basically, and hopefully I explained this right. When you're climbing a wall with the cat suit, the game, I guess, essentially has like 2 sets of like you being able to climb the wall, like registered each time you leave the ground. So you can sort of just activate the second one by just letting go of the wall with the like ZL button and then starting to climb the wall again.
can that be refreshed?
Sorry, that explanation
like,
might have been a little. It might have been a little weird. It's a weird thing to explain, but
Can that be refreshed an infinite number of times if there were an infinite height wall?
Only the
no.
one refresh is all you get.
No. Each time you leave the ground, you basically have 2. I need to be careful here because I don't want to butcher on this level. Basically, each time you leave the ground, you have 2 sets of. You have, let's just say you have like 1 refresh. So you have like the base climb, and then you have 1 refresh that you can do.
Yeah, similar to Odyssey, where you know, like with Cappy, if you leave the ground, you get 1 cap bounce, and 2 dives. Essentially, it's like
Right.
the game was smart enough to limit you on something like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm just gonna wait here because when you're doing like more of a challenge run like this, you have less of a reason to rush certain things where you would normally in a speed run. So like right there in a speed run, I would have just immediately jumped onto that platform, thrown caution to the wind. But here, it's much more about just like, okay, let's just make sure we don't get hit. Don't die.
I mean, you did have some pretty fluid movement in the middle of that stage. I always love watching speedrunners do that one because it's a lot of
Yeah, I like that level.
It's a lot of like treacherous, like tiny little winding pathways, and speedrunners kind of just like do these zigzag jumps all over the top of it and just completely ignore it.
Yeah, something about the catsuit is you get a lot of leeway when you make mistakes with it because, like, on this level as an example, like, all of the places where I could fall off, there's a wall basically leading back up to the land. So if I like miss a jump, I can just hit the wall and climb up. So, oh whoops, I don't need to be in here. This is a little muscle memory from 380.
And for what do the stamps do?
They let you take pictures with stamps in them in snapshot mode.
I was about to say they let you post on Miiverse on my Wii U, but they don't.
Well, on
they
your
don't
Wii U, that's
anymore.
what they do.
Not anymore, yeah.
Not even on the Wii U. You can't. There's no more Miiverse.
Imagine a world without Miiverse.
Sadly, I don't have to.
You don't, that's true.
I can't Metroid crawl, one of the many declarations of superior power found on Miiverse. Oh my god, that jump gave me a heart attack.
Did that one also scare you?
Everything scares me.
A lot of this stuff is just stuff I do in like literally every Damageless run that I do. Sometimes it bites me in the butt, but normally a lot of this stuff is not very risky.
Yeah, Fur was talking a moment ago about, like, you know, in a damageless attempt, time is not really the thing. And it's actually, like, pretty common for damageless or hitless streamers to just, like, sit around after a difficult segment, or, you know, most of them don't even really use timers. It's just, like, splits, but the splits are how many damages you took. It's a weird thing to pluralize. But, you know, all the same, it's also cool to see fast stuff.
Yeah. See, for me, normally I only take breaks and actual runs when it's like, oh, I want to get up and go to the bathroom or something like that.
Right.
As for when it comes to, like, strat, since you were saying, like, time doesn't matter as much, and I was saying that too, which is true. I also don't want to be sitting around for 10 hours doing the run.
Right.
Because, you know, then if you mess up 9 hours in, it's a lot worse than, you know, messing up 5 hours in. So if you can make the run shorter without really adding much risk, you're able to get a lot more attempts out to reach your goal, essentially.
And also, it's kind of worth saying, but there, you know, when it comes to speedrun stuff, faster doesn't always necessarily mean harder. There are a lot of speedrun strats out there that, like, actually simplify the challenges that you were meant to do in the game. Take, for example, like, a perfect example that comes to mind is Darker Side. If you've ever watched a speedrun of Darker Side, you'll know that they skip, like, half of the dungeon and arguably the hardest part of it by, like, flying around it, like, to the side. Like, sometimes speed tech exists to make things easier. So if you see, you know, Fur break the game or, like, do some sort of speedrun tech, it might actually be for the purpose of making it, like, easier to not take damage.
Yeah. There's actually an instance of that at the very last level of main game, you know, World 8 Castle, World Bowser, whatever. There's a skip we do, and it's a lot easier than actually playing the game the intended way. Even though it looks kind of, like, tricky, because it looks like you're doing blind movement up a tower, but in reality, you're just sort of, like, holding up and jumping every once in a while, and that's it.
You heard it here first, folks. This challenge is just holding up and jumping.
Well, no, that's only one part of one level.
No, that's it. Anybody can do
That's
it.
it?
And it's
Oh.
not even hard, and it's just hold up and jump.
Yeah, just hold up and jump, except sometimes.
Except sometimes. You just hold down and jump.
Yeah, of course.
Question in chat. I take it there was no need for... Oh. You can't just be spouting uh-oh like it's acceptable.
I hope that got somebody. All right.
It got me.
That's
The question
good.
in chat says, I take it there was no need for a quick early restart. The answer is no. Fur's gaming.
Oh man.
You can't just
I do that to
can't
my
just-
chat.
You can't just be spouting uh-ohs like it's nothing.
I do that to my chat sometimes.
is
Well,
bullying.
when I was doing, like, the full damageless attempts to try and get 380 in this game.
How many attempts
I mean,
did
it
you
is
do?
bullying a little bit. How many attempts?
Yeah.
I think we got it on attempt 112.
How deep did some of the attempts get?
Towards the end, he was getting to, like, the second to last world quite a bit.
Yeah. We would make it to, like, once we got to, like, attempt 90 plus or something like that, we were making it to, like, world Bowser or further, like, every run basically.
That's pretty epic.
And yep. Fortunately, I only ever had one run die to world crown, which is the very last world in the game.
Yeah, the world we were talking about that requires all the stamps, all the flagpoles, all the green stars. It's kind of like this golden world that waits at the end. Spoiler alert, I know this game's been out for a while. So, but there are 3 levels in that world. There is one of those mystery boxes, basically just a series of challenges like Fur just did. He was just in one right now. There is one Captain Toad level, and then there is Champions Road, and Champions Road is kind of like the ultimate gauntlet level of 3D World, where all of your platforming skills are put to the test, and you have to do it all on one life.
Yep. No checkpoints.
No checkpoints, which obviously doesn't matter in Damageless.
It doesn't matter. It does not.
There's only one checkpoint in Damageless, and it's the file select screen.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true. Yeah, I would go so far as to say that like a lot of people kind of think that Challenge Run might be like one of the hardest Mario levels that has ever been created by Nintendo.
It's definitely up there.
I think
It's
Mario
up there.
Galaxy 2 Champions Road is definitely up there.
The perfect run from
That's
Galaxy
what it's
2
called,
definitely
yeah.
comes to mind as well. The level itself is not too bad because there's lots of healing potential, but the fact that that set the 240-second star requires it to do it all on one hit of damage does really amp up the difficulty quite a bit. So a lot of people think Darker Side is also quite difficult, but you know, like I mentioned, speedrun tech kind of simplifies it and trivializes it quite a lot. But if
Yeah,
you're
there's
not
too many
familiar,
ways to cheese Darker Side in Odyssey.
there's just a lot of ways to cheese Odyssey in general, I think. Like, when you know how to control
True.
Cappy really well, a lot of things become quite easy. But for people who don't, you know, there's a lot of gamers out there that, like, don't know the roll mechanic or the dive mechanics very well, so they just, like, they run everywhere. And momentum is very important in Mario games, so...
TBH, the hardest Mario levels are all in the first two games. 6-3, the entirety of the bonus worlds and lost levels.
Yeah, I could agree to that.
Except for World 9. I think World 9 is kind of not a real thing.
Mario World Special World was kind of difficult as well when I was growing up. A little bit
for
easier
sure.
now that I've got lots of experience in Mario games, but also I find Mario Bros 2, the like American version, aka Doki Doki Panic, to be quite difficult as well.
I would agree.
Quite unforgiving in some regards.
That level where you're on the flying carpets,
Yes.
and that's it.
Yeah. And the birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That level in the speedrun gives me a heart attack every time.
Every time I watch it, and I still know how it's gonna go down. Like
Yeah,
I've
right.
watched it enough to memorize where the birds are, and I still shudder every time I watch it.
It's such a cool any percent run.
Honestly, yeah.
But we're not playing Doki Doki Panic on my
We are
family
not.
computer. We're playing Super Mario 3D World on my Nintendo Switch.
It's
We're all-
true.
we're all
This
just
is
here,
ADF's
like-
Switch. I stole it.
Yeah, I sent it to him.
Oh, okay.
I streamed Breath of the Wild today by drawing it frame by frame.
Oh,
That's really
nice.
impressive, actually.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, that is
an
really impressive.
incredibly gifted artist.
I'm gonna have to commission you sometime.
Yeah, my rates are 10 grand an emote.
Oh,
10
okay.
grand
yeah,
an
no
emote.
problem. I was hoping that you
Dude,
could...
that's cheaper than me. I'm $1,000 an emote.
Wait, 1 grand an emote is cheap. Hang on.
I thought you said 10 grand an emote.
I did, and you said that's cheaper than you, and then you said 1 grand?
Well, I'm cheaper, yeah.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah. I'm undercutting you.
Ooh-woo. Anyway, gamers. Fur, what's going on? What's in this level? What's happening?
We're on an auto-scroll level, and I have a cannon on my head.
And that's it. Dangers, any updates from your side of the table?
Well, I do see that Fur has a cannon on their head.
It's true, I do.
All right, guys. Challenger approaching is canceled. Show's over. Pack it up.
No,
This is the
Every
second time
challenge-
that
Every challenge has been approached.
this is the
Yeah.
second time that ADF has threatened to cancel the show. By the way, we should
Is
maybe
it?
have a counter on stream for that as well.
Yeah.
Which one will be more, the amount of hits in this run or the amount of times we've been canceled?
What was the counter? Was it amount of times ADF left? Was that
Yeah,
was
something
that on
like
here
that.
when you were playing something on here? I can't really remember.
I'm pretty sure it was the Fall Guys challenger approaching.
Oh, that's right. That one was a fever dream.
That one was a riot. I loved every second of it.
My all-time favorite challenger approaching moment happened on first Super Mario Odyssey run on challenger approaching. No question.
All I can remember from that run is just you really not liking the floor is lava.
That's good too. But the absolute, my 100% favorite moment from Challenger Approaching, we're almost at a year actually. My year anniversary episode is next month.
Oh, let's go.
But
Nice.
when Dangers said, "Hey Adef," and I said yes, and he said, "You know what rhymes with?" It was like Balo Burbunderbor. And
Something like that.
What?
Hollow Der Funderbor or
and
something.
I was like, no, I have no idea. And then he said, "Follow for underscore," and I lost my mind.
I mean, I'll take your follows. I do damageless content. On
Doo-doo,
stream.
he said
Something you're
doo-doo.
interested in. Oh my gosh, I'm leaving Adef. Good luck finishing your show.
Thanks. It is my Switch, so I'll
Oh,
go in
true.
remotely.
You'll be
Yeah,
taking that back.
you'll finish the run.
Everybody follow for.
True.
True.
What kind of stuff are you doing on your stream lately, for?
Well,
Actually, you know what? I'll let you destroy these guys because it seems like it requires a bit of focus.
Not really.
Oh, okay.
What we were doing there was just a way to get that green star really safely. Back when I was doing my attempts of this game to damageless it for the first time, my chat would always yell at me for killing those guys in a less safe manner, and eventually they convinced me to do that.
You can just
Which
shove
works a lot better.
So the snowballs can collect the green stars.
Yeah, if you throw a snowball with Luigi or are holding it with the cursor, you can pick stuff up.
That seems very busted, and I love that.
Well, there's actually a little challenge room in post game that requires you to throw one of the. Well, actually, there's multiple things that require you to throw something like a snowball or a baseball. Yeah, there's baseballs in this game. One of the levels, instead of giving you power-ups, it gives you baseballs. I don't know why, but yeah, you could. The game makes you throw stuff sometimes to pick up stuff.
Are you trying to tell me that baseballs aren't a power-up?
No, they're not. And I don't know why that one level tries to insist that they are a good substitute for any actual power-up.
Dang, I feel like we're calling out Nintendo right now.
I am calling out Nintendo. I
My
want them
uncle
to fix
that works
their
at
game.
Nintendo is crying and sobbing right
My
now.
uncle
sorry about that.
uncle that is a baseball is also really upset.
Your uncle that is a baseball. I didn't know you had an uncle that was a baseball.
Yeah, his name is Martin.
Martin Baseball.
Martin Baseball. The CEO of baseball. Martin
I didn't know your
Baseball.
last name was Baseball, Adef.
No, it's
Adef
not.
Baseball.
They gave him a new one.
They gave him a new one?
Yeah,
Oh.
just for Martin. He came out as a
okay.
baseball, so they gave him a new name.
They changed his name to Martin Baseball.
Yeah, he actually invented baseball.
I'm honestly so proud of him.
Yeah, Martin Baseball, great guy. It's difficult to get him to come to family functions because he's, a baseball, but
Yeah. What is this?
This is Challenger approaching for
This is
underscore.
Challenger approaching? I thought I was here to play Mario, not baseball.
yeah, pretty much everybody comes on this show expecting it to be a video game, when in reality
And
it's,
then it's just
it's a
baseball.
complete nightmare.
Oh. I see. Well, now I know at least.
Yeah, it only took two appearances.
Yeah,
two. I don't know. How many times have you been on the show?
I don't know.
Twice, I think. I think this is the
Not
second
enough
time.
not enough to know it's a nightmare, apparently. So these Captain Toad levels, if I do get hit by an enemy in them, it does count as damage. Just for some clarification, I guess, if anyone was wondering.
But why would you want to hurt the poor lad anyway?
I don't.
Exactly.
That's the whole point, to not do that.
Captain
Honestly-
Toad has gills.
Yeah, it's
I think a lot of the Mario characters have gills.
I was actually just talking about this in my stream the other day, but the physics of Mario characters changes depending on like what iteration they are. Like 3D Mario, for example, can't breathe underwater, but 2D Mario can. 3D Mario.
Well, this 3D Mario can breathe underwater.
Yeah, I guess this is like a 2.5D Mario in my eyes because it kind of like follows the same structure as the 2D games, but it's presented in a 3D world. You know what I mean? Whereas
I do
like
know what you mean.
Galaxy and 64 and stuff like that, those Marios are like proper sandbox 3D Marios. They can't breathe underwater, but they can breathe in space. But Paper Mario can't breathe in space. It's very strange that the same character would have different defining characteristics.
Well, can't he
Actually,
breathe in space in one of them?
Paper Mario can breathe in space in TTYD, but he can't breathe in space in Super Paper Mario.
That's right. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Super Paper Mario is a 2D game. And Paper Mario the
Oh,
Thousand Year
well,
Door is
you
a
can
3D
go
game.
into 3D.
Well,
and
okay.
that's like the whole gimmick, Ada.
Actually, I would argue that the whole gimmick is that the world's made out of paper. So,
I don't know.
But no, you're right.
He does have a point.
Is there a record for Damageless? I can't seem to find it.
That's a complicated question because
Yes,
there really
it is.
isn't much there isn't really much of a leaderboard when it comes to like damageless
Because it's just, did you do it or not?
times. Yeah, because in most like I guess damageless communities, I feel like people just really care like, oh, did you beat it damageless? Did you do everything? And then that's what people are sort of judged by. But I guess for context, I have collected every green star in the game without taking damage. The run's on one of my YouTube channels for VODs.
Like, there are leaderboards for Damageless communities, like, as far as how far did you get before you took damage. Like, some
Yeah, there's
communities,
some like
especially
that.
in ones where it's never been done before, they will keep track. But then once a bunch of people have done it,
Yeah. I actually don't even know how many people have done it in this game. It's not something that's very well documented from what I can tell.
I feel like there
But
are
I've done it.
there are a couple of games that have a reputation for like being popular as a damageless game.
Dark
And
Souls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and those tend to be a little bit more well documented because they tend to kind of blow up virally. But not every game like speedrunning has a leaderboard for that kind of stuff. Not every game really needs to record all of that stuff for that reason. So it's really hard to say. There could be like little Timmy, like 14-year-old Timmy somewhere out there that's like beat the game damageless, but because he doesn't record it, we just never know. You know what I mean? It's not got quite the same community that speedrunning does. Where speedrunning, I feel, is an actual genuine community where people are kind of like, gathering together to find out the strats to figure out how to beat the game faster. Whereas damageless is a pretty broad concept that could be attempted by anyone at any time. And if you do see it, it's typically because it's good YouTube content or something like that.
Do you ever think about how, like, I think about that sometimes, about how in the early days, like before speedrunning was as prevalent as it is now, there's a good chance that a lot of claimed world records were not actually world records.
Absolutely.
Because, for example, perhaps Martin Baseball.
Oh my gosh, Martin Baseball.
Perhaps Martin Baseball had the Excite Bike world record. You don't know.
Maybe.
Martin can't use a Dazzle DVC 100. He doesn't have hands, or legs, or eyes, or a mouth, or a head.
I don't know if he can play Excite Bite if that's the case.
He has I didn't want to talk about it, but he has a telepathic ability to control NES controllers specifically.
Oh, okay.
That's how we know he's.
baseball.
That's how we know he's sentient, not just a baseball.
Makes sense.
That's a good point.
Anyway, gaming.
Gaming. Yeah.
So I assume
just
this
taking
Peach,
this sort of slow.
Switch is for a stamp now.
Yeah, it's for a stamp, so we don't really need to worry about it.
Yeah, there
Realistically, I should just play this level as Peach anyways, because it's a little easier, but
There are 5 levels in the game that have a switch somewhere in them, and there's one per character, basically. And yeah, they're all associated with stamps. And again, we don't need stamps because we're
well,
just trying to
actually,
beat the game. You're gonna tell me
Mario
there's 6, isn't there? Or aren't you?
there's a 6th stamp, and Mario gets 2 stamps, basically. Well, he gets 2 switches, but one of them doesn't have a stamp.
One of them just has coins or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's really boring.
Yeah, it is boring.
And also, it's Mario. Ew.
Ew.
Yeah.
Christopher Pratt, get out of my video game.
Yeah, we don't want him. Get him out.
I'm out.
Mario's too plain. It's kind of funny. I think about this a lot, actually. This idea that, like, Mario games are awesome for speedruns and, like, being Mario is really cool because he jumps and stuff. But if there's ever a Mario game that has, like, another character that you can be, you almost always neglect Mario and pick the other character. Like, 9 times out of 10.
Because it's Mario. Who wants to be Mario?
Like, Galaxy speedruns are better with Luigi because, first of all, Luigi doesn't have to watch a cutscene. Like, that's pretty cool. And then, also, he's just better. He's just better.
Yeah.
Well, I think not to give an annoyingly boring answer, but like Mario's the baseline character, right? So he's gonna have the most average everything.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the characters that are more glass cannon, like Luigi, you know, like in Super Mario Galaxy, Luigi, yes, is faster, but he's also, you know, floatier and more difficult to control for most people.
Yeah, olive oil on the bottom of his shoes is kind of how I like to describe it.
Very Italian.
Very
That
Italian.
scared me. You put olive oil on your shoes?
I'm not sure if that's good for it.
Good for
Come
what?
on.
The shoes or the floor?
Both.
Or the olive oil?
Definitely not the olive oil. You can't use that.
Did you
to cook
ask
after.
the olive oil?
I will try next time.
Okay.
Wait,
next time.
In my many attempts to communicate with olive oil, I've received no response.
You're just not trying hard enough, I think.
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure what the trick is.
You have an uncle that's like olive oil as well?
That's offensive. That's not funny, all right? You're making fun of Martin Baseball. I know you're making fun of Martin Baseball. Do you know how much prejudice Martin Baseball has to deal with? He's a damn baseball.
That's true. He is a baseball. It's in his name.
It's in his name, for God's sake. He's a baseball. Olive oil, uncle. I can't believe this. I'm canceling the show. Calendar approaching is canceled.
This is the second time.
As an aside, we should start a band called Olive Oil Uncle, but
Honestly, yeah. I'm down with that.
and our first song will be Ode to Martin Baseball.
Of course.
What genre of music is this?
We play all our songs on the organ that is found at sports games.
Beautiful.
Makes sense.
This is some of the worst and yet best commentary I have seen. Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
In
Apparently
the,
that's Challenger approaching.
we had anytime Shen is around, it's just really quite a different thing. And
Have you had him on the show a few times?
several times in the commentary booth mostly, and it was him, me, and Etiquette. And Etiquette was playing Let's Go Eevee. This was a couple weeks ago. And there was a segment where Etiquette was quiet for a while because we were talking about like nothing. It was truly something else, and Etiquette just after a while goes, "Guys, what's going on?"
Oh man, I can just like picture the dynamic going on there in my head. It's great.
Shen and I basically just make fun of each other for like 4 hours. That's essentially it.
Makes sense.
Welcome to Challenger Approaching.
Yeah.
Welcome to Challenger approaching.
See, PB Precipice is my calm show.
Oh.
Except not at all. Bobby was on Sunday, and he renamed the show to D-Rust Destination. And then
D-Rust
Richard
Destination.
changed the title and everything, and all these people are coming in like, what's this new show? And I'm like, no, this is the
Oh,
first
man.
episode. People need to know what it's actually called.
Well, apparently it's actually called D-Rust Destination.
Apparently. But that's Mercy Kill. Mercy Kill should be called D-Rust Destination.
That's true.
Could be.
Dangerous, how are you enjoying this jazz?
Always jazzy.
I assume, for those of you at home, we don't have game audio from Fur. We're not so lucky. So I'm catering a calm playlist for Dwight Dangers.
In
and
fairness,
myself.
3D World does have a jazzy soundtrack.
It does. Also, Dangers, I don't know if you caught that, but the D at the beginning of D Dangers now stands for Dwight. So.
Oh yes, you finally figured it out.
I did. People have been theorizing for some time, and I was just hiding it.
There were some creative answers to what that might be, but I'm glad that we finally arrived at the real one.
Just like the B at the beginning of B Burb it stands for Bradley.
Yes.
Yep, Bradley word.
So
Ada,
you were... Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go ahead.
You were impressed earlier by the flowers, right?
I was so impressed.
You like that?
Was that leaves?
No, those were mushrooms.
Oh, I didn't really see. Can you do it again at the flagpole?
Sure.
Yay.
Just for you.
Yay. This is almost enough to forgive your olive oil uncle comment earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Fur, you still have not taken any damage. That's pretty cool.
That's true, I haven't. We're on World 3.
It's a good thing too, because if you do, then we'd have to cancel the show. So.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah, it's one of those YouTube videos where it says, like, if I take damage, my stream ends.
If I take damage, the video ends.
Yeah.
The video is like 2.5 hours.
I don't think that's very exciting YouTube content. The timestamp kind of gives it away.
All right, watch this chat. I hate to break it to you, Adaf, but I can't show you the mushrooms at the flagpole because I hit the flagpole.
Show's canceled.
Nah, that's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah, we'll replace it with D-Rust Destination.
I refuse to host D-Rust Destination.
Well, I guess I'm hosting a show chat.
I'm just vibing out. I didn't say anything for a bit, so I'm just vibing out over here. I don't know what to say.
Understandable.
Very chill run.
It's a very chill run. I can't take damage though.
It's chill for me.
I mean, you're not inflicting any pain upon your character, so that sounds pretty chill to me.
It's true.
This is the
I
least
haven't
hurt
yet.
Luigi has been in a long time.
That's true. When I do galaxy runs, I literally make him go into a black hole on purpose. So he's probably pretty happy to be on, under your control right now for Underscore.
Maybe. So this level's fun because those like little spinny guys aren't gonna come onto this train car, so I can just completely ignore them now.
They just kind of
Now that I'm on
sat
this-
there and
Yeah.
looked at you respectfully.
And now the bullet bills can't hit me, and the next spinny guys aren't gonna spawn until I go over here. So now they're gonna spawn in. I'm just gonna go over here, and now they can't get onto this train car. And now I can just freeze these bullet bill guys, and just they'll never be able to touch me.
They just sit there and they look at you.
It's interesting. You've discovered a way to defy gravity.
Have I?
Yeah, because when you are scratching the little bullet bill's nose or whatever, he just freezes in place.
Yeah.
That's it. It's pretty incredible to me.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Luigi can just do that.
He is an all-knowing being.
Yep, true.
Luigi knows when you're asleep. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good for sure.
Luigi's Santa?
No, Santa consults Luigi.
Oh, okay. I understand.
Just like before I make any kind of fantasy decisions about, my MLB fantasy team, I'm sure to call up my uncle. Or I text him actually because he's not very good at phone calls.
Yeah.
So Martin Baseball can telepathically control NES controllers, but also a cell phone.
No, just NES controllers. There is a CRT with him at all times, and it's a ROM that someone made where it's just a keyboard. And Martin Baseball just types out what he wants to say, but he also has task levels of input, so it's just as fast as talking.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Martin Baseball is actually banned from speedrunning because he's too good.
Unfortunate.
See, well, Tass is like my uncle, so they have that in common, I guess.
Really?
Yeah.
Uncle Tool Assist.
That's him. That's the guy. You know the guy?
I can't say I do.
Not personally. He's pretty well known, though.
What a legend.
Yeah, not allowed on any speedrun leaderboards, and it's a real shame. He's very
It
talented.
is a real shame. Is he upset about that?
Yeah. I mean, I would be too, wouldn't you?
Yeah, being banned just from being good.
Yeah.
That's some controversy. You could make a YouTube speedrunning content about that.
You probably could.
All right, I'm writing that down. Make a
Speedrunner
video.
banned for being too fast?
He gets called a literal computer. Like, what's up with that?
That's hurtful.
So this fast strat I'm doing here, if I mess it up, I could take damage.
Please don't do that.
Don't worry, I'm not going to mess it up.
The dive function makes that really cool.
Yep. You like me drawn in the sand as well?
Yeah, I'm a
My
little
favorite part about the
disappointed you
game.
didn't write anything, but
Well, it only lasts for so long, so I don't think I could write anything. I mean, maybe I could try, write like a smile in there or something.
I would love that.
It is
Love
kind of
that.
interesting that you mentioned the dive mechanic, because I remember the original game, you could do the same speed strat, but the dive didn't exist, so you kind of had to hope that like you would angle it properly to just get the spin jump to land on their head, and it was very easy to take damage doing that, believe it or not.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that if there wasn't the dive. Because it's pretty consistent with the dive. I only don't do it on the first one because the little snake lad will move around a little bit. Because we're not starting like right in the position we need to be to do it. And when he's moving around, I'm more likely to take damage. So we're in World 4. We're doing all right. So far, so good.
No hits?
No hits.
Now, to clarify, I think I saw a comment about what a hit, like somebody asked, falling off a cliff, that's not a hit. I guess this is more accurately described as a damageless run than it is a no-hit run, correct?
Yeah. I know, like, I used to be so confused when people would be like, "What is falling off the level a hit?" But that was before I knew that in a lot of the, like, Souls communities, the hitless rules are just about taking damage from, like, enemies or getting staggered by an enemy. And not if you, like, take fall damage or something like that.
Right, it's not
But
damageless, it's hitless.
Yeah, and since, you know, Mario is a platformer, if you're doing a hitless or a damageless run, it makes sense to include, like, falling off the level as damage, because, like, that's, like, the main part of the game. This game isn't about, like, fighting people, it's about platforming, so platforming challenges are going to be included as, like, hits or damage.
Absolutely, yeah, because if you fail the challenge, then you've lost,
Yeah.
I guess. I've even seen some people take no-hit challenges to the extreme of, like, the hit being used in its literal sense. Like, if you can't use your shield, for example, to just
Right,
kind
the
of try and,
operative
like,
time
tank
hitless
the
rules.
hit. Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that I could be wrong, but I think that's how it counts in, like, Souls games as well, because I think it's defined as a hit or a stagger. And I think when you block, it might be a stagger. I don't know. I don't really run Souls games, but I've looked at, like, I think it's the Team Hitless website or something like that, because I've been curious about, like, other hitless and damageless stuff.
Yeah.
I
Like,
can
long
actually
story
give
short.
Oh, go ahead, D-Dangers.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, just long story short on, like, what the rules are for communities varies, just like in speedrunning. So you always just want to make sure that, you know, if you're really interested in getting into it, that you know what counts and what doesn't. So,
Yeah, you can also just sort of make up your own rules. That's what I did.
It's true, like, at the end of the day, this is all really arbitrary. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you're not submitting to a pre-agreed leaderboard, like, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, there wasn't really, like, when I started doing this, there wasn't really much of a precedent. So I sort of had to come up with, like, what I thought was a hit and what wasn't, which
I feel like it's not that up for debate in this game.
it really isn't. Like, the only things that really are up for debate, I would say, are things like double cherries or
Sure.
like equipables. But I feel like it's really hard to argue that like getting hit by an enemy or having your double cherry clone die is not damage.
I would agree. I feel like if you lose a cannon or if your double cherry dies, I think that's absolutely a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I did not mean to jump there. That was almost bad.
Because you're losing it via the same parameters that damage would exist if you didn't
Right.
have
Yes.
that like shield
Exactly.
of protection, right?
Yes.
The only time, a damage-taking thing would happen and it wouldn't count as damage is if you have a star.
Yeah, but that you're not going to get penalized for that.
Right. Right, exactly. There's no penalty. Not to do a little cross-promotion, little hypey wipey.
I don't know how I feel about that. ADF, can I leave?
Can
Yeah,
you try
you
that
can-
again, please?
Yeah. Here's some hype to think about. Man, I'm really floundering. I can tell you that coming up in Challenger Approaching in the coming month, there will be, for the first time, I have been looking to do this for a while on Challenger Approaching, but I'm finally making it happen. There will be a high density of Soulsborne content in the coming month and a half.
Let's go.
Ooh.
Potentially, that's all I'm gonna say. I think we're gonna have Dark Souls 1 and then Dark Souls 3. And what the challenges will be, Dark Souls 3 will be damageless or hitless or whatever.
Probably hitless.
Hitless,
I
yeah.
would guess.
And then Dark Souls 1, I'm not so sure yet. I am talking with the runner at present.
Nice.
But yeah, get excited. Non-Nintendo content on Challenger Approaching? No way.
What?
I'm trying to think if we had a Hat in Time. We had Fall Guys.
I love that game. Yeah, that game's kind of.
Dwight
Was that
Dangerous might have a thing
was-
or two to say.
Was that the one? Because I was on a Fall Guys show for the hotfix, but I forget
No,
which
that
show
was that was Game Masters with Richard. I
Oh yeah,
believe.
that was Game Master.
That was you and Dangers and Fant and
David.
David.
yes.
That's right.
I didn't actually get to play the game though because for
Oh,
the
that's
first
right.
time, ever with Fall Guys, my game was just randomly crashing on launch, and I have no idea what was happening or why it was happening, and
Yep.
it just fixed itself like a day later or something like that.
I think like a month or two after that, Dwight Dangers came on and did some pretty gnarly gameplay, to be honest with you.
Dangerous is a gnarly gamer.
In Fall Guys, I think we were doing, for the Challenger Approaching, we were doing like no dive, no jump.
You
stuff,
won
right?
no grab.
Yes.
You won no grab. You got to the finals in no dive.
Yeah.
maybe you-
and, like
did
by
you
the
win
skin
no
of my
dive?
teeth or something like that, I think. I do remember there was like a Hoopsie Legends that we had to do, and
Yes,
like
the
I
Hoopsie
wasn't allowed
Legends
to
you won
jump.
without diving was nuts.
Yes.
Or not jumping or something. It was absolutely wild.
Yeah, that was a pretty insane one.
And then no jumping was quite something.
Yeah, I think we structured it that like I had to win an episode and then move on to the next challenge. So I think we ended up doing that. I think we ended up winning 2 of the 3 of the challenges or something.
I think so. And then I think we did a viewer lobby maybe. I can't really remember.
It was good times.
And then Fur came on and did Odyssey.
It's true. I think we did Hyperspeed or something.
Yeah, you did Hyperspeed,
Oh, I
and then
love
you
those
did
mods.
Superstar.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna take a look at the Challenger Approaching playlist.
This is a level I don't really like in Damageless just because I get to run across thin platforms, and I don't like doing that.
Oh, we had Forbidden Memories on. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, Fall Guys, and A Hat in Time are the only non-Nintendo games that have been on this show.
You'll love to see it.
You know, I'm tasked with catering the show, and I just put on stuff I want to watch.
Fair.
Oh, this just in the Twitch chat room. Dangers is banned, confirmed from Twitch. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
unfortunate.
I'm surprised that you haven't canceled the show because I'm here, to be honest.
Well, I'm all about the controversy, as you know.
Oh, okay. The clickbait.
Yes. Canceled streamer on GDQ Twitch stream. ADEF banned for life.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Ada.
Yeah. It's tough, but, you know, I'm just trying to protect my family name, trying to protect Martin Baseball out here.
Yeah, I get it. It was always about Martin Baseball.
Everything I do is for Martin.
Gotta carry on
ADF,
that legacy.
does Challenger Approaching have like a lore wiki? I feel like it has to at this point.
I don't think so, but I would love there to be one. There's certainly lore to be had.
Yeah, the Challenger Approaching extended universe.
There are certainly characters that have existed only within this show, like Martin Baseball, Uncle Olive Oil, Dwight Dangers.
I thought Uncle Olive Oil was not a real character, and you were very upset when I said that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Luigi time! Party time!
Scary enemies made trivial by touching them.
Yeah.
Oh, mine!
I could use my Fire Flower there and probably make it even easier, but I just... We don't need to. A 100 green stars. We're getting there.
That's
Triple
like
digits.
Almost halfway there.
No damage.
No damage.
Have you done this I mean, okay, so I know you've technically done 243 damage just because you've done 380. But have you ever deliberately done a 243 and it's been damageless?
No.
So we could see it first.
I mean, I don't know if it really counts because it's technically already been done multiple times. So I've done
Yeah,
plenty of runs
but
that
you know
have
how, like,
accomplished it.
You could say, like, 100% is any percent.
Well, yeah,
It's technically true, it's just a dumb distinction.
I guess so.
It's the same thing.
I mean, I guess if I do this, I could submit it to the leaderboards for this game, 243. Which,
course.
fun fact, I have a submission to the Bowser's Fury leaderboards. My 100% submission, 100% no amiibo, is damageless.
Really?
Yeah. Because that's the only time I've ever done 100% speedrun was when I did 100% damageless in that game.
That's really funny.
So I just was like, I'm gonna submit this because that'd be funny.
When I was in Europe a couple of weeks ago, I had my Nintendo Switch with me before I sent it to Fur, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And I decided to try Bowser's Fury as I had not played it yet. And it is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It rocks. Like, I wanted to 100% it so badly. I did not want to be done after the game was done, so I got all the rest of the stuff. And that's like the most glowing review I can give, I feel like. Wow, this is a smart strat to make your boys stacked up.
Yeah, usually they'll be lined up like that when you leave the pipe, but I moved a little bit and then they weren't lined up, and I'm like, nope, I am not going down this without them lined up. It's just not happening. I have lost too many runs to that.
Did you just kill them by sending the boomerang back?
Yeah, if you freeze them while the boomerang is coming back to them, they won't be able to pick it up and they'll just die.
Wow.
Yeah. Usually if there's a boomerang, bro, that like I don't need to like kill immediately, that's how I'll do it. Because it's a very safe way to kill those enemies. It's like a lot of the time when we're fighting enemies in this game, I'll try and take a safer route to it, and it's part of the reason why I have a Fire Flower right now. You can hold like a power up basically in storage, and since it's damageless and I don't need to worry about really having a backup catsuit, I usually like to have a fire flower or a boomerang there. And that's sort of what the fire flower is there for, because there's a couple levels where there are enemies that I just don't want to deal with. And yeah, having a fire flower is nice for that reason.
And you did say boomerang power up as well. I know that there are a couple of stars in this game that require the boomerang power up.
Yeah, I think we only need I think we only require the boomerang in like World 7, but there's a few levels in No, I didn't mean to long jump. Ah! Oh well. That's one hit. Unfortunate. That was just me pressing the wrong buttons.
I can't believe it. Challenger Approaching is officially canceled. Gamers, thank you so much for watching the show. Per is taking damage, and per our pre-adorned agreement, the show's over forever.
All right.
Yeah,
Just kidding,
all
guys.
that cool
what
stuff.
What a classic joke. The show's actually it's gone.
All that cool stuff that we said about Dark Souls coming up, yeah, it's canceled.
It's
Might be
it's
a
all
bit.
canceled.
Oh wait, I can fix this.
I gotta tell a lot of gamers some bad news.
Yeah, sorry, Fur took some damage, and so we can't have you on.
Yeah, you can blame him, not me.
The worst part is, if I did anything there but long jump, I probably could have been fine. Because with the long jump, you can't really do much once it starts until you hit the ground. And yeah, that's very unfortunate. Oh well. I'll try and go the rest of the run without taking an additional hit.
I mean, one hit for 243 stars is still very impressive.
Yeah, it's not bad. I was like, I did 2 practice runs on Tuesday, since I haven't done 3D World in a few weeks. And one was 3 hits and one was 2 hits. Though in the 2-hit run, I made it all the way to World 8 before taking damage. So, for context, right now we're in World 4. But yeah, maybe this run can be the 1 hit. I think it was even you, Dangerous, who made the joke to me that was like, all right, you did 3 hit, then 2 hit, and now do one more run.
You should have done that one practice, like I was saying.
Maybe. Yeah, that's a bummer.
All right, Dwight Dangerous,
That's a bummer.
I queued a bunch more stuff.
Excellent.
We've got more music forthcoming. Whilst Fur just takes damage after damage, like the show
Hey,
doesn't
I'm
even
only.
matter.
Do you want me to take more damage? I can do that right now.
No.
Threatening to like jump in the lava pit. I love this.
Yeah, I can up that counter.
That
I'll
would
cancel
really
your
be
show
something
twice.
if you intentionally just kept taking damage.
I feel like I would get kicked off the show at that point.
I feel like it's funny enough and like stupid enough that I can't get rid of you. That's like the whole point of the show.
I mean, yeah.
New challenge.
I wouldn't.
How much damage can you take without getting a game over and beat the game?
How about how much damage can you take before all your viewers leave?
Ah. But what if their like morbid curiosity just keeps them here while you just keep taking damage?
I think that's fair.
I think I could probably tell you actually. So there is a way to get unlimited lives in this game. Quite simply and quite early on. So you would just get a bunch of lives all like that, and you would just then take as much damage as possible, and it probably wouldn't be that interesting to watch.
Well, I'm actually more interested in the question of how much damage can you take before you die in a single level?
That would kind of be interesting, yes.
Like, how many power-ups can you get and how far can you stretch them?
Yeah, that would be more like knowledge-based, figuring out where all the power-ups in a level are.
And let's just
intentionally losing
get
them all.
900 lives and then just drowning, jumping in a pit over and over again.
Yeah, that's true. That probably wouldn't be so much fun.
That guy can be a little scary sometimes because the way those rocks come out is random. So sometimes you'll get really awkward patterns that are really annoying to avoid.
For underscore, do you think this is an
Yes.
acceptable time to take our first break?
Sure, why not? We just finished the castle, so
Excellent. Well, after all the cutscenes and all that shebang are done, if you could pop a countdown for us to pause the timer, that would be excellent.
all right. I can do that. 3, 2, 1, pause.
Okay, gamers, we will be back in just a few moments. Do not go away. We're just taking a quick break to stretch our legs and get some water. There will be more for underscore, more Dwight Dangers, more Super Mario 3D World, 243 stars Damageless right after this. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is Challenger approaching. We are back with more Super Mario 3D World 243 green stars Damageless with fur underscore and dangers on commentary. Just a few quick announcements. GDQ, Sum of Best Segments, is now launched on YouTube. It's a highlight channel with regular videos like our main channel, but with small highlight reels for all of our main events and hotfix. So be sure to subscribe and check out those videos. And if you are watching on YouTube, feel free to join us over at twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick to check out our live shows starting most nights around 7 p.m. Eastern. Not around, at 7 p.m. Eastern. And while you're there, Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits, so please consider subscribing to help support future broadcasts. And with that, for a countdown whenever you're ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right,
Moving
so
on to World 5.
Explain what is going on. What does 243 mean? What is Luigi doing on the screen? What's this video game?
Well, 8F, I think 243 is a number.
No,
That's true, it is a number.
No. You stop this. Numbers don't go above 10. I'm very aware of this.
About that.
I have 10 fingers.
You know, you
Anyway,
can't
On the
argue
bright
that.
side, that means I can't take more than 10 hits.
That's true. It's impossible. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, infinity.
Yeah,
That's true.
it is
So
true.
what's going on? What's this category?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, you have a guardian. Oh no.
All right, we should be good now. All right, so we're doing a Damageless 3D World Showcase of 243 stars. And 243 stars is all of the green stars in the game before post-game. So we're collecting every single one and trying not to take damage, which unfortunately I did already take 1 hit of damage, but I hopefully will still be able to play the rest of the game without taking any more additional hits. That's just sort of what happens when you're trying to do a showcase run. It's hard to, you know, do the full hit list. But hey, we're still trying our best over here.
You sure are, and that's really all that you can do.
Oh, there's 1 green star.
Oh my God,
Crap.
Martin
We need to
Baseball.
go back and get that. Yeah, they have baseballs in this game, Adolf. That's how the whole Martin baseball thing came up.
I know. Because you were arguing that a baseball wasn't a power-up, and I
Yeah,
didn't-
it
I didn't
was.
like that.
All right, so I need to get the green star. I missed. Oops. Wait. Why am I? Oh, I grabbed this. I got some things mixed up in my brain, but we're good now. We have the green stars.
You just had to punch a Goomba
Yeah.
made of
Well,
sand.
sand Goomba.
Isn't there a Plessy segment? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are there no green stars in? Is it just a stamp in this segment?
Yeah, there's a stamp in here.
The skyboxes
Stamps
are
don't
really
matter in this
pretty.
run.
They are, aren't they?
Like I mean, we already passed it, but my favorite background in the game is that one in World 2. It's 1 or 2 where you're in the long pipe and it's this like sunken ships behind you.
Oh yeah. I think that is World 1. I think that's the second level, isn't it?
Is it? It's
think
really
so.
pretty.
I don't think that's the second level.
Perhaps I'm
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to the backgrounds too much.
There's a question here it says, still wondering, would a suitless / power-up run, like no power-up run, be a possible category?
They're actually, so that's a main board category in this game. I forget the exact name of it, but people do run that, and it's like not uncommon either. I think the rules are no power-ups, and you can only play as Mario, because Mario's sort of like the basic
small
character.
Mario only. That's right.
Is it small Mario only in 3D World?
I think that's what
I think
it's called.
I think it's big. I think you're allowed to be big Mario because by default in this game, you're tall.
Oh, you do start off that way, don't you?
Yeah.
But that's a speedrun category we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what are
you
the-
obviously, it's not damageless.
Dude, I want to check the leaderboards now.
I can do that for you right now. What is
Yeah,
the,
I forget what the category's called.
what are the like implications for damageless, like small, or I guess basic character for damageless though? Because I guess there are certain things in certain green stars that you would only be able to collect by either like using a power up or by taking damage and cheesing the power up, right?
Well, yeah, because I feel like
Yeah.
only any percent is really doable.
Right.
Like, you can't do much bonus content.
Yeah, Mario
Yeah,
percent
so-
no power ups is the name of the category, by the way.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do a damageless run of that, you'd be limited to like what your max amount of collectibles is.
Right.
Because some power-ups or collectibles are just not possible without the power-ups.
Thank you for the raid party 409. Greetings, gamers. This is Challenger Approaching, a Games Done Quick hotfix show featuring challenge runs. And we've got Fur Underscore playing Super Mario 3D World. And, you know, this is a great opportunity, gamers. If you're not following Fur Underscore on Twitch, you're actually making a huge freaking mistake. And I will send you a strongly worded letter, and it will say, hello, you, follow him. And you should do it.
I've received such letters before.
Yeah,
They're
because
scary.
you?
Dangers actually is not following Fur, fun fact.
What?
Yep.
What? Okay, I'm unfollowing Dangers.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Now Adaf has to send you a strongly worded letter,
Is that how that works?
But about
Yeah.
Dangers.
Oh.
and it'll say, "Hey, you."
Hey, you.
Hey, at least I'll have Adaf's signature then. You know. I
Yeah,
can sell
you
that
can-
for the big bucks.
You can sell that for the huge
Adaf
bucks.
Challenger Approaching Baseball.
Is that my full name?
I think so.
Oh, wait, but I thought canonically Martin Baseball's last name was changed to Baseball.
You know, I don't write the canon here.
I guess, who does?
I mean, it's your show.
Wow, that's so much power.
It's true.
Martin, wait, Clayton, wait, so my first name is Adef, not Clay.
Nope.
So, Adef Challenger Approaching Baseball.
Yes.
Wait,
Why are you?
Dangers, you just recognize what I recognize at the same time?
Wait, hold on.
Luigi time.
Maybe?
I posted it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Terrific.
Oh my god.
What are the odds?
What, literally, like, what are the odds? Oh.
Anyway, so Mario.
And
Mario.
Mario.
Whew.
So
Yeah.
this level here, it's very large
just
and
gonna wait.
sprawling. So maybe we'll see some
I
of
need
that,
to collect
speed
myself.
tech.
Oh, I don't want to take damage to something as stupid as
Ants.
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 That's how you get ants.
Sure.
Ants your pants. Sometimes I feel like I should think about what I say before I say it.
Nah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Wow, the momentum transferring is actually like really sick in this game.
Like Look at how fast he's going.
That's unreal that you are not doing a glitch.
And that's without crouch boosting.
Right, like, what?
So you can go even faster than that.
Like, to get that speed in the Wii U version, as we discussed much earlier, you have to do, like, this catsuit canceling and, like, a lot of them to get that speed, whereas you're literally just running and jumping.
Dude, this is going a lot weirder than it should be. This is supposed to be an easy level. World 5 and World 6 are supposed to be the levels that I, like, never take damage on.
For the words that you just said, I think are a perfect, like, motto for Challenger approaching in general.
Is it?
This is going a lot weirder than it's supposed to be.
Well, it's Adaf's show.
That's our tagline.
His last name is baseball.
New tagline for Challenger approaching. This is going a lot weirder than it's supposed to.
Yeah, I thought I was supposed to just play some Mario and not take damage, not hear about your uncle.
You got a problem with that for underscore?
No, it's
Hearing a lot of talk,
unique to say the least.
I'm hearing a lot of Martin baseball hatred. And people talk a lot about, you know, what Martin baseball has done for them, but not a lot of people are asking the important question, which is what can you do for Martin baseball? And the very least is just be a kind citizen, you know?
And follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, at Martin_baseball.
That's gonna be a real account, and
I'm not gonna make it.
Somebody on the chat or in the chat with way too much time on their hands.
yeah, just start taking a baseball,
And
maybe put
every
some
picture-
googly eyes
every-
on it, and just
every post better be a selfie of a baseball. Like, there are no humans in the frame, just like a picture of a baseball.
yeah, put googly eyes on it too.
No, canonically,
Please.
Martin baseball has no eyes. I believe what I said was
Yeah,
yes, no
but
limbs, no eyes.
But Adaf, this would be a non-canon Instagram page.
Oh, that's true. It would only be canon.
It
if
wouldn't be
Martin
run by
made
you.
it. If Martin
Yeah.
made it, it would be canon.
Oh man, the Adaf cinematic universe just keeps growing. So this next level I'm about to do, it's one of those like Fire Bro fort hidden area places. At first, this gave me a ton of trouble, but I found out a way to just not worry about anything, basically.
That's good.
Yeah,
Found out a way to not worry about anything.
yeah, it's easy.
Remember that Martin Baseball can only post through an NES. So, yes, take it with a Game Boy camera. No, because Martin Baseball can ask people to take photos for him. It's not really a
Through his-
selfie in the strictest sense.
You can ask through
Yeah.
his NES.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
I cannot handle this.
I expect
much for
Martin
me.
Baseball fan art within the hour.
Oh my god.
Gonna be a new GDQ emote and everything.
Martin Baseball.
We were looking...
GDQ Martin.
we were on PB Precipice, or no, it was on Never Before Seen the other night. We were talking about how I'm the only, so like, they've started this thing on Hotfix where the 2 weeks that alternate, you know how like sometimes in school you'd have like a red week or a blue week, or like an A week or a B week or whatever. So there's Team Vector week and Team Faith week. Those are like two of the GDQ mascots, and I'm the only showrunner who has a show in both, because the other people who run two are in the same week. So we do need another mascot for just me. It's just my team. So I'm
gonna be
Team
Martin.
Martin Baseball, I think.
Oh no.
Absolutely.
Oh.
His cousin
handle that.
Barton Baseball. No, that's not canon. That's not canon.
It's not canon.
Anyway, how's this level?
This one's not that bad, but you know, it does have spike bars in it, and it does have piranha plants, which are two things I am not a fan of. For context, the one hit of damage we have taken so far was to a spike bar, so...
For something without sentience, it's pretty scary.
Yeah. And the other thing, piranha plants, they don't have eyes, just like Martin.
Just
and they're
like
scary
Martin.
as well.
Martin's just like me. I'd like
For
to,
anyone wondering, I'm intentionally going for the bottom of the flagpole just because the animation's a little slower or faster.
Dangers, I'd like to introduce a new segment to Challenger Approaching, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Oh no.
No, this is a good one. This is not a meme.
I'm sure it isn't.
It's not. I feel like the boy who cried wolf. I can't say anything legitimate anymore.
You can't.
Everything's just Martin baseball and goofs.
Yep.
Let's do a Q&A with Fur Underscore. This is your opportunity to ask questions you want to know. It could be about the game. It could be about why is there an underscore. It could be about why is there a fur. Any questions about Fur Underscore, ask them now. Dangers and I will field our favorites, and in a couple of moments, we'll ask them to him. So please, in the chat room, questions.
Adef, while they're asking questions, I got another thing that's going to blow your mind.
Okay.
Look at it.
Oh my god. It's not quite a baseball, but it's pretty close.
Well, no, I wasn't talking about the ball. I was talking about the sprinkles.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I think Martin would like that.
I'm not sure Martin really likes anything. After all, he's baseball.
Only baseball.
He loves baseball. Just like how people love people.
Typically, sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interesting question. Why is it fur with an I and not fur with a U?
Because fur with an eye is a tree.
Oh, it
Yeah.
sure is. Also, fur,
It sure is a
obviously,
tree.
you reserve the right to not answer any of the questions that we ask.
All right.
Hi, Fur Underscore. What's your favorite food?
I'm not answering this. Oh, I was gonna try and cut you off. A favorite food? I like pizza.
I was gonna say, if you don't say pizza, I'm very surprised.
Is it actually pizza? What's your favorite food?
I'm a big pizza fan. That
Big
being
pizza
said,
fan.
can't really eat pizza every day.
You can.
I would die.
You just
Well, you
shouldn't.
can. I just would rather not die.
Can I quote you on that?
Yes.
I would rather not die.
Fur underscore.
2021.
How
But
is
fur,
fur?
fur with an I.
Yes, fur with an eye, because it's a tree. How is
Yeah.
fur is the next question.
Oh, I have a.
Okay, it seems like fur doesn't want to answer this one.
I had an answer that was a joke, but I've decided it was too mean.
No, you must do it.
I must do it. I was gonna say not good because I'm on Challenger Approach.
All right, show's canceled.
Wow.
I'm calling Martin baseball.
No,
I'm telling him
I'm doing great. I'm having fun.
Good. Martin baseball actually has the authority to call all kinds of military attacks, so beware what you say on this show because I can
Wait,
always...
why does he have military control?
Because he's
a
baseball.
I didn't
Why
realize,
does that give him that?
didn't realize
Okay, so-
that baseball had this much
was
military
he
precedent.
in the was he in the war or something?
Okay, so it's funny because you said, why does he have that? He's a baseball. And at the same time, I said he has that because he's a baseball.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. When he was born,
Time.
when he was stitched,
When he was stitched.
the government contacted him and said, Martin, you are a heretofore unknown being, and we'd like to grant you full military privilege. And it's just how it is. And he's never abused it. he just uses it to make sure baseball games happen, basically.
I mean, of course. Wouldn't you want that if you
Yeah,
were
so
baseball?
like, if it's raining, he'll like call the Pentagon and be like, "Can we stop that?" And then,
I mean, I
and then the
guess
rain stops.
baseball is like America's pastime or whatever they say.
Yeah, it's America's pastime, but it's Martin's all the time.
That's true. He is a baseball.
He is baseball.
Honestly, he could run for president with that slogan.
Yeah, he's been warned not to run for president by all the major parties because they know he'd win.
Yeah. I mean, when you run on a slogan that says America's pastime is my all the time, you win immediately.
It's kind of a great slogan, actually. Anyway, here's some real questions from real gamers. Hey, Fur underscore, do you face any big roadblocks when you started? Did you face any big roadblocks when you started speedrunning or streaming?
When I started speedrunning or streaming,
Yeah.
with streaming, I guess like the main thing is like when I started out, I was just speedrunning some indie game, Hyper Light Drifter, which is a great game, by the way. Good one, would recommend it. And I'd get like 0 viewers. So that was, I guess that was a roadblock, but I guess I overcame it in a way where, you know, you just sort of talk about the game and try and be entertaining in case people come in, or maybe they'll watch a run later on YouTube, which did end up happening because I ended up getting some world records in that game. People were like, hey, nice commentary. So, you know, pretty all right in the end. With speedrunning though, no, I've just always been perfect. Just kidding. I don't have a good example of like a roadblock with speedrunning though, because like I've been playing video games for a long time, and like with speedrunning, when I've wanted to get like really good at games, I've just put a ton of time into it. Like maybe in specific games, I remember having roadblocks, like in 3D World Damageless as an example, there were like multiple levels that were like hard blocking me basically, that I had to like figure out ways to get around because I would so consistently lose runs to those levels. Like the first world that I really struggled with in Damageless in this game was World 3, because there's a few like sort of tricky levels in that world. Oh no, I am not doing this level as Luigi. And it was just something I had to slowly sort of figure out and overcome. Like there's some levels in World 7 and World 8 that are very much like that as well. Like World 7-3, I think it is probably pretty scary if you aren't familiar with me playing it. Just because it's a 100-second level that's pretty hard. But we've got it to a point where since I've like worked on it so much that I'm not afraid of losing world levels there anymore. But before then, I'd lose runs there like so frequently. So you just sort of gotta work on it and figure things out. But I don't know. It depends.
I have some bad news.
What are the bad news? Did Martin Baseball pass?
No, I would be bereft. I would be beside myself.
Beref's a vocab word.
I'm about 8% sure I used it correctly. So
I think you did.
Not very confident. Unfortunately, both Martin Baseball and Martin underscore Baseball are taken on Instagram by
Are they?
By not Martin.
I thought they might be. That just seemed like a name that would already be taken on Instagram.
Well, you were right.
As soon as you said it.
Why Damageless? Someone asks. Was the normal game just too easy for you?
Well, you do Damageless for a similar reason as to why you do speedrunning. You like a game and you want an extra challenge, right? So I started doing Damageless with Super Mario Odyssey. I've completed all 880 moons in that game without taking damage, which not something many people can say. And I thought it was fun. I didn't do another Damageless challenge until Bowser's Fury in 3D World came out. And once I did it in Bowser's Fury, really enjoyed it again, and I was like, hey, I kind of like this. You know, it's like speedrunning, but I can go to the bathroom and not care about losing time if I want to. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, it's basically just a, hey, I like these games. I like streaming games, and I like streaming game challenges, and speedrunning and Damageless, you know, each have their own fun aspects of them. And recently, I guess I've been on a Damageless kick.
Hey, Dangers.
Hello.
Do you have any questions for Fur underscore?
Do I have any questions for Fur underscore?
Do you, Dangers?
I really don't know if I do. But I know Fur underscore quite well, so keep them coming, chat.
We'll also accept questions for Dangers.
Oh, spooky.
That is spooky. I may or may not have answers.
Is Martin Baseball taking questions?
Martin Baseball's not here.
Oh. Well, you can text him.
I'm not going to waste his time. He's busy running baseball.
All right.
He's the CEO of baseball, Fur. You think he takes a break?
Yeah, if I don't know if baseball has a CEO.
Then you are severely misinformed.
I mean, I'm not a sports guy, so...
Martin Baseball is the CEO of baseball. It's in his name.
The cool thing here, if I put my hand on the boo, I can just go to run through them. Because when you put your hand on them, they'll turn invisible, and that means they can't hit you for a little bit.
Somebody
That
asks,
part
why
is
did
really
you
easy.
switch characters?
Because these levels are easier with Peach.
Yeah, Peach
There's
has
a lot
that
of
floating
there's a lot of
mechanic.
benefit with the floating. Like Peach can do this, and that's pretty good. So yeah, I only do a few levels in World 6 with Peach, and then I think there's 2 in World 7 I do with Peach. Everything else is Luigi though. At least in 243. I think there's a couple of post-game levels I like to play as Peach as well, but those do not matter for this run.
Somebody says the season just ended. Call him up. He's got time. See, you would think that when the World Series is over, Martin Baseball's schedule just completely frees up. But he's not just the CEO of the MLB. He's the CEO of baseball. So anytime baseball is being played by anyone, anywhere, Martin is in charge.
So Martin's in charge of this run because there's baseballs, is what
Yes,
you're saying.
I would assume so.
Luigi time.
Here's an interesting question for everybody. I've actually got a few interesting questions here. I'll go down them first. Okay, so we got the first one for Dangers. Dangers, do you prefer
Yes.
your Speedrunners and Dragons character from Season 1 or Season 2?
That's a good question. I would definitely have to say Season 2. For the simple reason being, I think both characters could very well be excellent, and I like them both a lot. But Season 1 was literally my very first D&D campaign, so I was kind of getting into the motions of what being in an RPG campaign like that is supposed to be. So I was a little bit restricted in my ability to roleplay the character. So the second character was made in mind with that in mind to kind of allow myself to be the character a little bit more. So I definitely like the second one, but only because of experience, really.
Great answer. Next
So I have a
question.
question.
Oh, go ahead, Fur.
Is the Challenger Approaching universe the same universe as Speedrunners and Dragons, but at a different time?
I'm not at liberty to say.
That's disappointing.
Well, there's... Okay.
Fur, you
I
have
don't
to
wanna-
be careful because now Martin Baseball is going to show up in the next episode, and I'm going to be like,
Oh, wait, Martin can be in the game. There's like a semi-legitimate answer to this question. People are asking what's Speedrunners and Dragons. It's a Dungeons and Dragons show that I run that Dangerous is a player, and you can go to youtube.com/speedrunnersdragons and check it out. We're towards the end of our second campaign right now. Anyway, for reasons I don't really want to get into for spoiler and lore reasons, the Earth does kind of exist in campaign 2. And I haven't really decided the canon of like, do we exist?
We exist. Dude, I can't believe I'm in Speedrunners and Dragons chat.
By
Oh
extension.
my gosh.
So, like, the question does... Yeah, I don't know. I'll pop the link. We're almost to 2,000 subs. For what it's worth. What's Fur_'s favorite Mario game of all time?
I'm gonna say Odyssey solely because I've played it the most.
I think that's fair. Here's another interesting question. What challenge run or runs have you been both interested in and kind of scared to attempt?
Oh, there's a good answer for kind of scared to attempt. It's two in that. So recently I've been doing a lot of Damageless on my stream. I recently beat all 380 stars in this game without taking damage. I'm like, all right, I want to do another 3D Mario Damageless. So I decided next I'm going to do Galaxy 120 Damageless. So I've been learning the Galaxy 120 speedrun, and the idea is eventually once I get better at the speedrun, I can swap over to doing Damageless attempts. But when I finished 380 stars, I had to make a decision like, okay, I want to do another 3D Mario. Which one? Well, as it turns out, some of the 3D Marios are scary. Sunshine is Sunshine. And while I do like Sunshine, that does not sound like a fun game to do Damageless, meaning even though it's a lot shorter than Galaxy, it just sounded like it would be painful.
It's actually, I haven't really thought about Damageless in the context of Sunshine. Like, what do you do about air? Because the eel, in particular, would be quite...
I'm pretty sure when you're losing air, that's not damage, but if you, like, get hit underwater or something like that,
Yeah.
it is.
Same rules apply to Super Mario 64 because
Yeah.
your life bar is actually your damage bar, and then when you resurface, it's actually kind of like a neat trick in Super Mario 64. If you want to like heal your damage at any point, if there's water in the level, you can just go underwater and then come back up, and your damage just goes away. It's pretty wild.
Neat. Yeah, it was that game because Sunshine, it just seemed like it'd be a heck. And then the other one is Galaxy 2, because Galaxy 2 would be 242 stars to get the essential, like, all collectibles thing, you know? Like, I guess Galaxy 1 also has 242, but in Galaxy 1, you would basically be doing the game twice, which is boring. So I'm just doing 120 in that game, right? Like, why do every level twice just to get that, like, one extra level that you can play or whatever?
242 would be so long to play without taking damage.
It would be, which is why I chose not to do Galaxy 2 next, because I didn't want to start doing because Galaxy 2's record is like 9 hours. And I've done long Damageless runs before. Like, the first 3D Mario I did Damageless was Super Mario Odyssey All Moons. My run is 9 hours on that. Now, that's like an hour and a half slower than my regular PB in that category. So, like, hypothetically speaking, if I had like a near record level Galaxy 2 time, the Damageless run, just using just adding the same amount of extra time would be like 10 and a half, 11 hours. And I just don't want to be streaming for that long every day.
Very
or
fair.
something like that. It's too much. So, yeah, that's scary.
Well, I've quite enjoyed this Q&A segment on Challenger Approaching. Perhaps we'll make this a regular thing. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please feel free to keep asking questions if you'd like, and I'll field them to the gamers. But thank you for participating, and I hope you had a great time.
Yeah, I had an alright time.
Good. That's a glowing review.
And also no damage. Also, that was a nice trick shot.
Yep,
I don't
that
know
was
if you meant to do
intentional,
that.
I promise. Adef, is this the level you were talking about earlier?
No,
An hour and a half ago?
The IL for this one is good too, but the IL for the first ice skating level is my favorite.
Okay, so 3-1, I think.
Yes, 3-1, not 4-1. That's right.
The one you cheated with the snowball.
Yes.
Yeah. Cheating. That's a
This
strong
one
word.
also is a good IL.
This is actually a interesting level for like logistics of like damageless. Because when I was doing it, I opted to decide that losing the shoe to hitting a wall is not damage.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair as well. Because I think the way the game is made,
like
they sort of...
bonking.
Yeah, it's sort of like they intend you to get the shoe and then they intend you to lose it. So I feel like it would be weird to count it as damage, if that makes sense. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
What other games does Fur_ stream?
I've been doing a little mix on stream recently. I've been doing the Galaxy stuff because we're learning that speedrun. I do all moons once every week. I used to have world record in Odyssey all moons, but I don't anymore because I don't play the category every single day anymore. But it's still fun to just do it like once a week as sort of like a chill stream for like 8 hours because it's a long run. I've been mixing in a little bit of Mario Maker recently, trying new stuff. And I've also been trying out a Kirby Air Ride challenge run that I suck at currently, but it's a cool run, I think. It's called Max Stats. Yeah, I've been mixing in some stuff.
I'm watching
recently.
a streamer named Blue Candy do that a lot as well.
Yeah, that's what got me the idea to do it. If you ever need a game, you could do Blue Candy, Kirby Air Ride Max Stats. It's pretty cool.
I'll write it down. We have a question here that says fur. You said
Yes.
your name is Fur_ because a fur is a tree, as if
Yeah.
trees are inherently better than animal hair. Is the reason actually
Well-
because you love trees, or is there some kind of cool backstory?
Really isn't. It's like 10th grade. I need a new name. I'm tired of having something that's like edgy or whatever. I think like before I had a name like Antagonist or something like that, and I didn't want an edgy name. I'm a 10th grader now. I'm past that time.
Wait, I kind of
So I
like
was just-
Antagonist as a username, though.
Well,
Like,
good luck getting that on a platform.
It does make you sound like a villain.
Yeah.
Then again, I guess
'Cause-
one of the largest live streamers of all time is named Dr. Disrespect,
That's true.
so I guess you could get away with being a super villain on the internet.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted a less edgy name, so I was just thinking of names, and I decided that I'm gonna be Fur, and that it's a tree, and we're gonna go with that. That's really like it. It's just like I wanted a new name, I wanted something that sounded all right, looked all right, and Fur is what I picked.
I think it
Dangerous.
suits your wholesomeness better.
I agree. Dangers, where does Dangers come from?
See, I wish I had a cool backstory for my name, but it's pretty similar in the sense that, like, what I had before just wasn't cutting it, so I needed a new username, something simple. And I saw somebody, and it's funny that this is kind of my origin story because now I'm cursed that everybody calls me this to this day, and it's not what I want to be called, but somebody was in an online game. I don't even remember what it was. I think it was like Worms or something. Like, it was a browser version of Worms or something. And their name was just Danger, singular Danger. And I was like, oh, that kind of sounds cool. And so I threw an S on the end of it, and I just started using it. And now everybody calls me Danger, singular. Like, if you ever hear my name in commentary and they've never had this explanation dished out to them before, it's always a singular Danger. The S goes missing. I don't know where it goes. It's just the curse.
It's the
'cause
curse.
It's where I got my name from, I guess.
I think it's a good story.
It's definitely not like, it doesn't feel inspiring, I guess. You know, some people, it's like, where did you get your username? Oh, well, one time, 7 years passed, I was walking through a field, and I was reminiscing. It's like, you know, there's nothing,
And I
there's no,
thought-
like, emotional attachment, right?
I was running through a field and I thought, big booty man. This shall be my username.
Oh man. We just told mine. Mine's basically the same thing. It's just like, oh, I just wanted to change my name, and I just picked something. I mean, it works.
Yeah.
People like it. It's short. It's simple. Twitch won't give me the 3-letter version. This is a call out post. But yeah.
Luigi time.
Martin
just gotta do-
Baseballs.
Martin baseballs.
All right, this level is a lot of fun.
This level is Martin baseball's level.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, this is Martin Baseball's level. Let's go, Martin.
As a matter of fact, Martin Baseball plays on this level more than we do.
Let's go, Martin. What a king.
Because we just sort of like...
Somebody's
Luigi
asking,
isn't doing anything.
did my name come from hexadecimal? The answer is not really. Like in a roundabout way, maybe, but not really.
Didn't you tell me that like you just kind of put your hand down on the keyboard and then threw games on the end of it? Am I remembering that right?
It's more or less. I was in a stage in my life where I just made Pokemon ROM hacks all the time, and there was one that I worked on for a particularly long period of middle school, and I just had to do a test playthrough, and I just had the super speed function on, and I just hit A bunch of times and was moving around the D-pad, and ADEF is what came out, and I was like, wait, that could be my game company name. And so I, with my limited knowledge, went in and I changed Game Freak to ADEF Games. And then many years passed before I was able to drop the games.
Understandable.
In fact, the only reason I got affiliate was so that I could get rid of games.
You know, that's valid.
And now look at me.
Look at you. So this level is really fun, and by really fun, I mean it kind of sucks in Damageless. And when I say it kind of sucks, it means I know where all of the Hammer Bro locations are and where they jump in. Because they all suck.
You just memorized them all?
Yes.
Probably worth
Because
it.
it's just something, they become an issue enough to where you don't forget. Like there's one over there right now. He's gonna jump over here once he gets on screen. And then I'm gonna kill him. Oh, and then this part's really fun.
ADEF
And then there'll be another one that'll jump from off screen down to here.
This is impressive.
They all just they're the most like annoying enemies in the games besides Dry Bones, so you just remember where they all are. For context, I really don't like Dry Bones in this game.
Yeah, there's one level in particular in the post game, so luckily you don't have to deal with it, I think.
Well, there's one level in the main game with Dry Bones that's annoying.
Oh my god, there's a Martin Baseball Twitch account.
Somebody made it.
It's happening.
Yeah, they joined the chat and they just posted a baseball emoji and that's it. Which is good, because that's all Martin would do.
True. Anything more and you have to ban them.
Yeah, Martin Baseball, whomever made the account, you may not ever do anything other than just posting baseball. There it is.
There it is. It'll be like pup time, but whenever somebody says baseball, Martin Baseball posts a baseball.
I really like that.
It's always just really wholesome when, you know, you see families support, you know, content creators in the space.
Oh yeah, that's my uncle canonically in the chat. What's up, Unc? Am I gonna see you at Tea Giving this year? Turkey Day? He's usually too busy to come. You know, officiating or watching over some kind of like youth league baseball game in Indonesia.
Well, being the chief executive officer of baseball.
It is a heavy price.
I mean, he's the baseball.
He is the baseball.
So this was another level that I struggled on a little bit at first, but then it turned out, I realized the level was easy, and then I just stopped taking damage.
Do you care to elaborate on that?
Yes. Any further information?
Here, I'll just sort of show you what I do here. So, it's a giant blob dude that we sort of fight. Blob clown guy.
Blob clown
and he just
guy.
sort of jumps around. And, the There will be all these orbs, and all these guys can do damage to us, but we can sort of just wait, and then he'll run away from all of them, and then I can just claw swipe him. I didn't do that before. I would try and like run into all the blobs and jump on. And that was not a good idea when you don't want to take damage.
Here's an interesting question for the panel. What do speedrunners do to relax? Like, I would chill playing a game, but for you guys, it's a job, kinda. So I guess this is less a question about speedrunning and more a question about full-time streaming, honestly.
True.
It's an interesting question because I feel like a trend you will genuinely see among like a decent amount of streamers is they won't play video games in their free time as much anymore because they'll do it like all day when they're essentially working.
And I can kind of relate to that from like the perspective of somebody who used to work in kitchens and stuff. I get that question a lot too. Like, oh, you just must make the best food for yourself. I'm like, dude, the last thing I want to do after cooking for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week is cook some more.
Yeah.
My relationship with casual gaming changed drastically since I started speedrunning seriously. Like, even before I took streaming that seriously. Like, in 2014 or 2015, I would say my relationship with casual gaming changed a lot, and I actually resent that because it's been hard to try to get back to the point where I can just, like, play games for myself.
This is something that I think happens a lot with bigger streamers where it's like, hey, there's this game I want to play casually, but I could stream it.
Yeah, see, that's the thing,
I can't.
right?
If I play this off stream, I'm missing out on content. What do I do?
Yeah.
So that's something a lot of people, especially like more variety streamers, will run into.
I'd say that I'm more in line with that kind of thinking. And it's not necessarily that I could stream it. A lot of the time, my brain immediately cancels it out and says, well, it's not Mario speedrunning, so people wouldn't watch it. But it's this kind of idea that, like, you could be spending that time doing something more productive with your streaming career because you work from home. And I think it's like it's almost like a working for yourself kind of mentality, that because all of your time is your own time, you could be using all of that time to be working. So whether that's related to video games or not, it kind of like blends in together. You know what I mean?
I'm intrigued to know if you guys, because there's definitely that aspect to it for sure. But I am curious if both of you have experienced this thing that I have experienced, which is like, cut streaming out of the equation in your brain for a second and think about what it was like when you were just speedrunning just to speedrun, not to stream. Like, since I did that, I for some reason, it takes a lot of energy to pick up a casual game. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's so much easier for me to just throw on Breath of the Wild and practice for 4 hours instead of like play something I know I would enjoy.
Certainly.
For me, I don't know if it's quite like that because I don't practice a lot. But I also spend a lot of time off stream working on content for other platforms.
Yeah, that too.
Like, recently I've been doing a lot for TikTok. I started a TikTok at the beginning of September, I think it was the beginning of September or mid-September or something, like, with the idea of like, hey, I'm gonna take these cool things in speedrunning, like explain them in like a minute and post them. And some of them have been doing pretty well, to be honest, and I've had to put a lot of work into that. So I don't really even have much time to practice speedrunning. But I sort of get what you're saying. It's sort of just easier to like do the thing you're familiar with.
Right. And it's weird because I know I'm gonna enjoy, like, every time I pick up a casual game I bought for myself, I do enjoy it and I wind up playing it a ton. But it's just that initial thing is weird for some reason.
Oh yeah, this is one of the levels I mentioned earlier. It's very unlikely I take damage on it, but this was one of the levels I struggled with the most when initially learning Damageless.
In this version of the game, there is a small likelihood that your inputs can get eaten.
It's true.
Which can be kind of frustrating.
That
And
was
I know
very
that's
impressive.
that's like the typical, speedrunner
Like right there, my
excuse.
input dropped, but it doesn't matter because I know
Got the
exactly
cancel.
what to do if it drops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Been here and done that enough times to know how to counteract that.
So what I'm doing right now is the solution to me having struggles with this end part, and that falling block lines up exactly with this, where the star is, then I can freeze the spinning thing and just go through it.
Smart. Slow and steady.
Yep. And I mean, it's only like, I'm probably only losing like 10 seconds doing that.
Where did Fur take damage? It was in World 5?
World 4.
World 4.
It was World 4, the level right before the castle. If you're familiar with this game, it has a ton of
Like tilting platforms.
Yeah, it has a ton of the
spikes.
tilting platforms with spike bars, and then it has Spike in it. The character Nintendo decided would be an important character now who gets to play golf with the pals. So
Can inputs drop anywhere or just this level?
It's common there because of those boost panels. Whatever it is about
Yeah.
those boost panels, like I know that in Odyssey, typically input drops happen because the game is trying to process like Cappy interacting with something, like a fuzzy, for example, or like a flower platform or something. Like he's activating something, and then the game has to think about it. And I'm not sure if that's how it works in this game, but I can imagine that there's some similar properties there.
yeah, I think it's just an instance of like a little bit of lag when those boosts occur.
Yeah.
That can cause input drops. I could be wrong though, because like this game doesn't have nearly as much of an input dropping issue, I feel, as Odyssey does.
Yeah.
Also, I don't need this stamp, but I'm just doing the movement this way because I'm more comfortable with it. It's what I'm used to. So I think it's really funny we can just push the bullies off the edge.
That's what I was gonna say. It just makes me chuckle every time that you use the hand to just like cheese any sort of like enemy encounter at all.
I'm just gonna make you wait there. Thank you for waiting patiently. So you can freeze these spike bars, but a lot of the time I don't. Like, I'll only really do it on this one so I can more safely get the star. Oh my gosh,
Whoa.
Luigi's a little slippery, and that was an instance of him being a little slippery.
Good side flip though. Good recovery.
I mean, the side flip was also scary because side flips are one of the movement options in this game where you're basically locked into your momentum or whatever as soon as you do it. You don't have much maneuverability. So
Like long jumps.
Yeah, I hate seeing side flips. I hate seeing them in Odyssey as well because it does the same thing. Can't really control Mario as much when you're in a side flip compared to other stuff, I feel.
Correct, yeah. Backflips are pretty true too, but I feel like you do backflips more intentionally than you do side flips.
Yeah.
Getting bullied by a bully does not count as a hit.
It does not.
Or it does not
'Cause
count
this
as
is-
damage, per se.
Yeah, this is a damageless run, so if we were doing if you wanted to do a hitless, I guess you could probably do a rule set where a bully pushing you back counts as damage or something like that, but I'm not personally interested in something like that.
Yeah.
Also, this is a fun level. Look at all these fire bros.
There's just a few.
I know where they all jump at this point, so it's not really too bad. That was another level though where it's like, okay, this is hard, this is scary, this is terrifying. I need to figure out a way to do this where things are gonna go smoothly basically every time, and basically my solution there is to just kill that first fire bro in the middle and then stand in that upper middle part, and then things are pretty easy to control. Because none of the fire bros are gonna jump to that spot you're in the upper middle part. They'll jump close to you, but never on you.
Luigi time. Let's go.
Oh, it's the Zelda level.
Yep. Isn't that just fun?
Isn't that just fun? We'll probably also, if it's cool with you, take our next break after this level.
Sure. I always
Dangerous,
try and be
how-
careful
how
in this
you
level.
feeling?
I'm vibing. I'm doing great.
I'm glad to hear that. The playlist is treating you well.
Yeah. It's been good, cozy vibes all night long.
That's what ADEF radio guarantees.
That's an ADEF radio guarantee right there. We love to hear it.
We're never live, and you can't listen to it.
Unless you're dangerous, apparently. He's the only one that gets it.
Apparently. That was a little spooky.
Yeah. Normally, I'll do this room a bit differently because it'll be on a different cycle, since in 380 you'd get the stamp, which is in the prior room. But, yeah, we didn't take damage, so we're fine. Everything's good.
We have an interesting question here for the panel. Earlier, y'all were talking about defining damageless between different runs. Are there any other instances in speedrunning where a definition of something comes into contention? Assuming like,
Literally all the time.
Yeah, literally all the time.
My favorite instance is in Odyssey 100%. When speedrunners, like some people apparently knew this, but a lot of people didn't, was that the 100% profile star does not show up on your profile, or it will show up on your profile even if you don't have 999 moons collected. You just need one of everything, basically,
Yeah.
to get it. Also, we
Because-
can pause now if you want.
Oh, wait,
Oh, yeah.
3, 2, 1, pause.
Yeah.
Put
We
a pin in
will,
that thought, and
Yeah,
we'll
we'll continue that question afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
So we'll be right back discussing hot speedrunning topics, as well as watching Fur_ play Super Mario 3D World, hopefully with only one hit.
Yep.
And gamers will be
Still
right
mad
back.
about that hit.
We'll be right back with more Challenger Approaching right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. This is Challenger Approaching. And we have Fur_ showing off Super Mario 3D World Damageless, 243 green stars. Before we get back into it, though, just a quick announcement after this show, so just in a little bit here, is Legally Cute, featuring Rain World and Karma Flow. Tune in on Monday for the Community Spotlight featuring Marvel's Spider-Man and Miles Morales PS5 starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. And with that, Fur, give us a countdown.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Fur, what is this run? Who are you? What is this?
I am Fur_. This is 243 stars and damageless. It's a showcase we're doing of damageless runs on ADEF's GDQ Hotfix show, Challenger Approaching. And 243 stars as a category, since, you know, that might just sound like a random number to a lot of you, is all of the green stars, which are basically the main collectible in this game, before post-game. So it's all of the green stars in the main game. We're trying to do them all damageless. Unfortunately, we have taken one hit of damageless so far, so we will not be able to get the true damageless run. But I do think there is a strong chance we are able to finish out the rest of the run without taking any additional damage. So
Excellent. And D Dangers,
Hello, that's me.
how are you?
I am vibing, enjoying the run,
Good.
enjoying the lack of damage,
Excellent.
because it really breaks my heart every time Luigi takes a hit, you know?
Me too.
And Princess Peach too, but only sometimes. This level's a fun one, isn't it, Fur?
yeah, this is not a fun level.
But that's the opposite of what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Before
So-
the break,
Something I
So
Something-
why don't you tell us why it's not a fun level, Fur?
well, look at these little like hammerhead guys.
I mean, they're pretty cute.
They spend their entire lives looking at two walls. You ever think about that?
I am
now
now.
I do.
Yeah. They have this narrow little corridor where they're swimming through, and both of their eyes are just right against the walls. Like even in here.
That doesn't seem like evolutionarily responsible.
It's not. But no, this level is really slow. We start with like 400 seconds on the timer, and I'll probably be finishing it with like 120 left on it or something like that. It's just a really long level. It's a water level, which, you know, heck those.
So
Very cycle-y.
before the break, we were talking about, we left the gamers on a cliffhanger
That's true, we did.
about
Got to get that audience retention.
yes, about things in speedrunning, terminology, rules which are heavily debated.
That's right.
Thoughts?
And Burr was mentioning 100% in Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
And, there comes into contention a lot of the time, like a standard definition for something versus what ends up kind of being determined by a community to be more important or to be more interesting sometimes can even be the reasoning behind something. Speedrun communities don't have like a central rule database that they have to follow. Like each community governs itself, right? So when it comes to those kinds of things, we all have to individually make decisions based on what we want to accomplish or what we need to accomplish in a speed run. And 100% in Odyssey is a really good example of that because we have essentially defined it as the star on your profile. Are there more things that you can do in Odyssey? Yes, there are. But for all intents and purposes, you have completed Odyssey in its entirety 100% if you get that star on your profile according to the game's own literal visual cue. And yes, there are more things that you can do, but then sometimes that gets into the realm of how arbitrary is 100%, right? So every game is going to be different in that regard because of all of these different factors, especially when, lots of collectibles are involved.
It's true. It's true.
And the other one that comes up a lot is what constitutes a glitch and what should a glitchless run be under the context of a speed run versus what shouldn't.
Yeah, that's a fun one.
It is a fun one, and it doesn't really happen a lot in Mario games because, usually if there's a way to skip directly to the credits, that's considered the arbitrary code execution run, and that's its own category. It's pretty clear cut and pretty cut and dry, but things get complicated in Zelda runs, for example, where they're just so busted as to be completely unrecognizable from the regular game. Where do you draw the line there, right?
Big hot take. People should not put the percent sign after things.
Absolutely not.
It's so dumb. Don't call it Mario percent. It's just the Mario category.
I think on some of them it's funny, on meme categories it can be
Sure.
a good meme, but
nipple
on
percent,
a lot of
for example?
categories.
Wait, am I allowed to say that on the show?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Just making sure.
This is not really late night, but maybe it's late night. I don't know. I allow myself one F-bomb per show if it slips out, so I think you can say nipple. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that exists in Super Mario Odyssey, by the way. So.
Yeah, I think when it comes to official categories, I find it stupid. Any percent is called any percent because you can finish the game with any percent of completion.
I'm playing Toad on this level for the fans.
Oh, let's go.
Look at the little dude go.
Yep. Toad's actually the character that speedrunners use on this level, but I'd normally just play Luigi because, I don't know, I'm just feeling it. But, we'll do it for the fans in chat.
Toad moves so fast.
Yeah, he's a little zoom-in boy. Fast lad. Very small, though.
Baseball percent.
Baseball percent.
Martin percent.
This is very important.
Yes, that's fine. You can do that.
So I'm making sure I kill all of these guys, so when I go back down this tower, I don't have to worry about running into them and taking damage.
Very smart.
Yep. Because you sort of have a timer once you grab this last one at the top.
Is it the top one that activates them? If you missed a coin along the way?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
top one.
Interesting.
Yeah, This is always one of my least favorite levels to try and speedrun in this game because coming back down can be kind of annoying if you don't kill all the guys on your way.
Yeah. Just gotta not get hit. It's not that bad.
Yeah, just don't get hit, forehead.
Yeah. It's easy. So we get to do another Captain Toad level. Usually these levels aren't much of a threat, and that's still the case here, but there was one time I took damage on this level and I was upset. So you never know. This could be that run that we take damage on it again.
You can't hurt the pure boy. He's a little dude. I'd be very upset if you harmed him in any way.
Oh, well, maybe I'll just do it on purpose.
Please do not. Wow. You just admitted that you like seeing me upset. I can't. How do I react to that?
Oh my god.
Friendship in shambles.
Oh no.
Challenger approaching is so dramatic.
Yeah.
Why is Mario not used? He's slow.
Yeah, he's not very good. He's the average character, which means in speedruns where you're not doing average play, he's worthless.
Worthless.
I wouldn't
Here
go
to hear
that far.
first, folks. Nintendo's mascot is worthless.
He's got like one worth.
Yeah.
He can
$1
like collect a stamp that
That's true.
nobody else can.
That's worthwhile.
Yeah. Think of all the worth that he has.
At least
that.
$2.
You paid $2 for that stamp?
Yeah.
I mean, luckily you can just collect it in a video game for whatever you paid for. So
Okay.
Well, you can also subscribe to __ on Twitch and help pay that cost.
that's true.
That's true.
Twitch.tv/_. Wow, thumbnail face, thumbnail face, thumbnail
Yeah,
face.
I was being a YouTuber for a moment.
How did it feel?
That felt pretty good.
Felt really good to have stability for a moment.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how that works.
All right, this is one of those levels that requires the boomerang suit in order to get one of the
It's
green
true.
stars without dying.
The level also has dry bones. I don't like dry bones.
But they're just a little friend. Look at them.
You pet that Potaboo.
I don't think these are Protoboos.
You
I
pet
hate to
that
break it to you,
melty
Adaboo.
molten boy.
Maybe we
Melty
can call,
Molten's a galaxy level.
Can we just? I'm trying to. I'm just
maybe
trying
we
to.
can maybe we can call them Rollaboos.
I'm looking up the official enemy name.
I really doubt they're called Rollaboos.
What level is
not.
this for?
7 something.
That's less helpful than the actual number, to be honest.
Yeah, but I don't know what the actual number is. Probably like 7.
The one right
Maybe.
before the castle.
No, oh yeah, it is the one right before the castle, actually.
Simmering Lava Lake.
That's the one.
Somebody in chat say it?
No, it's on IGN.
Oh.
Those are called blargs. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's true. They are called blargs.
The cowards don't name the enemy on the IGN page.
How dare they?
No, unfortunate. Let's look up 3D World Wiki enemies. And find all the enemy names or something.
Splorches.
Splorch.
Ah,
I
that was my
believe it.
second guess.
That was my third guess.
I would have beat you in guesses for how does that feel?
True. Pretty bad. I don't think I can finish the run. I know we've only taken 1 hit so far, but yeah.
Are you telling me that Challenger Approaching is canceled?
Yeah, 4th time this show.
God, I wish. We have a comment here from the chat that says, "Imagine Waluigi in Mario 3D World."
I'm imagining.
Okay, that's
Nothing's
it.
changed.
Here's another question. Oh, that's not a question. Or is it? Okay, it's framed as not a question, but there's a question mark at the end, so I'm going to rearrange some of the words so that it's a question.
Okay.
Has there been a history of some developers specifically targeting glitches or exploits that only a certain group, i.e. speedrunners, would use? Question mark. How does the speedrunning community in general feel towards... all right, so antagonistic is the wrong word here, but feel toward, quote, antagonistic developers, end quote. Not my words, that's the chatter's words. I can take this one.
Sure.
I have worked in the games industry in the QA department, and never, ever, ever is a developer like, "Eee, speedrunners beware! I shall end their career." Like, that's not the point. It's just, I don't know, like, you know, people who are outside speedrunning maybe have a different viewpoint of like what their game's polish level looks like, and you know, if an exploit or a glitch is something that a casual playthrough might encounter and it's pretty glaring, they're going to want to fix it. I really don't think it's very common for a developer to be like upset that speedrunners found something neat. But if they fix it, yeah, I mean, typically speedrunners are not jazzed when a developer fixes a game after, or fixes a bug after launch. That was like big for speedrunning. But that's not
That
super
being
common.
said, on the Switch, it can be a pretty big issue because down patching isn't really something that's prevalent on console games, especially like modern console games.
Yeah, well, that kind of speaks to what Adef was saying about the polish level of certain developers, right? Nintendo's polish level is like through the roof, extremely high, and that's because the audience that they're catering to is not speedrunners, right? Like, they're not even on, like, we're not even on their radar, really. The idea for Nintendo is to create approachable games for literally every audience and every age group. And if there's something that they notice that could potentially dampen the experience, little Timmy like accidentally ends up in a wall, or he's trying to collect a balloon in Super Mario Odyssey and some cheeky little bugger across the world has hidden it inside of a wall, then it's going to make little Timmy sad and they're going to get rid of that, right?
I don't want Timmy to cry.
Yeah, different, at the end of the day, like, different people enjoy different video games for different reasons. And a company isn't necessarily targeting the people who play the games they don't think is the way that they're supposed to be played. They're just trying to enliven the experience of the majority of people who might come across their games, because
Yeah, the
let's
speedrunning
face it.
community is like 1% of 1% of the player base.
Exactly, yeah. Like, let's put it this way. Like, I've put thousands of hours into Super Mario Odyssey, but I am a very fringe case. Like, most people will play through it once, maybe twice, and then never touch it again or something like that, right? So the experience is being catered to the people who are going to play it, more generally speaking.
I don't know, Dangerous. I feel like a random sample of 3 people in this call has multiple people who have put thousands of hours into Mario Odyssey. So I think with this sample set, we might be onto something that actually most people who play Mario Odyssey, like 2/3 to be exact, put thousands of hours into the game.
I have hundreds also.
But yeah, we are what you call experts, though, and
Experts. So that means my data is to be taken seriously.
you're such a dork.
I think that the TLDR on this question is that it's a really difficult one to answer because obviously speedrunners are upset when cool stuff gets patched. But I can guarantee you the developer did not see the bug and say like, oh, we can't wait to make speedrunning harder. Probably what happened is in the workplace Slack or something, somebody posted the glitch and they were like, look at this cool thing. And then a producer or somebody was like, we have to fix that. And then the developers are outranked and that's it. Like, that's just the reality of the matter.
Also, we're on World 8, the last one.
World Bowser.
World Bowser.
The music do be popping here.
You can't
Yeah.
even hear it.
Somebody asked about the, I know, but I know it. I'm thinking it.
Yeah, that's fair.
All
All right, well that's not the level theme though. That's the overworld theme. Adef, you're distracting the viewers. They aren't looking at my run.
Somebody asked how you beat Bowser. It looked like magic.
It was magic.
Okay, that's
A
not
magician
true.
never reveals their secrets.
All right, I'll reveal it. I'm the assistant.
No!
Fur was swiping.
Kick Ada from the call, producer.
Fur was swiping. With the touchscreen mechanic that is a gyro mechanic in this game.
Yeah, you see the little hand that's floating around all over the place. It's a little L right now. Yeah, that it's overpowered. It's busted. It needs a balance patch.
Well, if a casual player isn't going to be able to do anything I'm doing, basically, though. Because it's not easy to play the game while also controlling like a second controller, basically. Or well, I'm basically multitasking. Is the way to put it. So this level can be annoying sometimes.
Luigi time. Let's go.
I could make it easier by playing as Peach, but I just don't.
Doesn't that kind of go against the whole trying to do this damageless thing?
Yeah, but I like Luigi.
Respectable.
No, I just, some of the levels I'm just more used to playing with certain characters. So even though like Peach is what you're supposed to do in the like speedrun here, but I'm just used to playing as Luigi, so I play as Luigi. Oh!
Whoa!
Hey, it wasn't a hit.
Spiky mouse guy almost gotcha.
Yeah, but he didn't.
Yeah, Dangers and Fur did not hear, but the dog was barking, so I muted for a bit.
You muted Fur a bit.
Oh my god. This program is canceled.
Finally.
I know, right? I've been trying so hard. It just hasn't been happening.
Doing everything that he can in his power to get his own show canceled.
That's how you get viewers.
They just keep on going.
Yeah, Adolf's going for the controversial approach.
It's a powerful one. It's been proven to work time and time again.
Oh yeah, this is another level where we can spawn in some sprinkles.
Sprinkles.
You gotta decorate the cake in the background.
Mario. I've
We can
baked
also make
a
little
cake.
lines in the chocolate.
Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
Oh yeah. Mmm, tasty.
Meow.
So we are getting close to the end. There are a few levels left that are like kind of scary. There's two in particular that I would say are like really scary. This is not one of them though. This is just a Plessy level.
Time. Let's go.
You can pet Plessy.
Now this is music that I can hear in my head right now.
It is the slide theme.
Yep.
One of Nintendo's many remixes of it. If I don't
you
need
pet
this
Plessy.
stamp,
I didn't see
so
that.
I'm just gonna jump over it.
That like actually genuinely saves time, by the way, because there's a
Yeah.
little cutscene after each level where you collect a stamp where it's like, you got the banana stamp.
I don't think there's a banana stamp. I hate to break it to you.
There should be.
Is there a baseball stamp?
Good question. I don't know.
I want to say yes.
There might be one where a character is throwing a baseball.
That's good
I don't
enough.
think there's one of that like that's just a baseball, but I'm not sure.
So long as Martin is present.
Well, how do you know that is Martin?
Any baseball is Martin iconography.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Anytime there's a baseball anywhere, it's some kind of enshrinement of Martin.
It's It's like anytime you see a fir tree, that's an enshrinement to me.
Yeah, and anytime you see an ADEF, that's me.
Absolutely.
That's you.
Yeah.
It's in your likeness.
Or my new username. ADEF
BDEF.
Challenger approaching. What was the last
Baseball.
word? Baseball. That's right. And anytime anyone's in danger, like let's say you're just about to get into a car accident, you're like, oh, dangers.
That's exactly what people think, right?
Yeah,
before
they're
a
not
car
like,
accident.
oh, I'm scared. They're like my favorite Mario Odyssey streamer. I hate fur.
Wow.
That's right. Definitely. All that toxicity just comes out in the middle of a car crash.
They get out of the car, walk up to the person that was the perpetrator, and go like, "Do you like fur or dangers?" And they say fur, and they go, "I know it. I knew it."
All right, buddy. Well,
What the
prepare
heck?
for some dangers.
Adef, I thought you were supposed to be
It's beatdown
killing
time.
people to follow my stream.
It's beatdown
What the heck?
time. Follow Fur on Twitch, twitch.tv/fur_.
Do
at
that.
ADEF, more funny voices. How about this? I'll do a funny voice if everybody follows Fur on Twitch.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like 2,000 followers.
You're gonna be rich.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, if everybody does it, they'll get a funny voice. So,
What voice will they get? You gotta entice them, Adef.
should I do? Dangers.
What can you do?
I don't know. I feel like you have heard more voices
watch
from
this.
me than most people. Invisible wall.
Personally a fan of Miles from his marvelous moddities.
Oh yeah, what did he sound like? I think I remember. All right, it's a weird voice.
I mean,
That's
he
your-
is weird.
He is a weirdo. And you have to sound off in the chat room after you follow for post PogChamp.
Did you know that the host of this
Post
show
a baseball.
also has a Twitch channel that they stream to also?
No,
You should
that's
go
not
follow
true.
them.
That's not true.
Twitch.tv/ADEF Challenger
Baseball.
Approaching Baseball.
Man, if only I could abbreviate. No, twitch.tv/MartinBaseball is the only Twitch account that, in my eyes.
The only one.
Oh my gosh.
No, if you want to support me, just subscribe to the Speedrunners and Dragons YouTube. Then you're getting bang for your buck.
You don't even have to spend any money.
Luigi time.
It's true.
Let's go.
So this level is a water spikes level. Also, Adef, I know you were commenting about my ability of levitation, but what about levitation into teleportation?
What? I actually really liked that. Thank you for doing that for me. We got
Oh,
quantum
we're gonna have to wait out
mechanics
the
now.
cycle.
How do I spell ADEF? You just did.
Congratulations.
This is where we ask Mr. ADEF Baseball when the Breath of the Wild Rando is released. You know, it's funny, after that appearance when I said that I would release it soon, a non-zero amount of developers DM'd me on Twitter. And they were like, we wanna make the thing. And I was like, okay. So soon is the answer.
Nice.
I'm gonna try to just do it myself, but now I know they're
Have you
helpful.
been working on a Breath of the Wild rando?
Well, like in December of last year, I made this thing. It's a Python script that makes a series of challenges to complete. Mm-hmm. I call it the challenge run randomizer. So it doesn't edit the actual game. It's just like a thing to accompany the game.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I stream it a lot. It's like super enjoyable, and I've been testing it and like trying to balance it, and then I'll release it on my website eventually.
Nice. I think stuff like that's cool.
It's just like something to spice up the game a little bit.
Yep.
No, hopefully this year. That's the goal. Before the end of the year, if I'm not inundated with projects, which is what it's seeming like it might be. But
Heck.
Meow.
Mario games have always been about quantum teleportation.
It's true, they have.
I guess I can't argue with that. I don't have a counter example.
Have you played the new Mario Party on Horrorland? They've got warping.
They got warping?
Yeah.
Isn't warping in that instance just an eyeball rolls and follows you to a different place?
Time.
Yes.
Let's go.
Quantum
That's warping,
mechanics right
baby.
there. We don't do this level yet. You guys don't get to see it yet. I'm sorry. I clicked on the wrong level.
Oh, that was
Little-
rude. You teased me
Little
with it.
spoiler for later.
There's a very good comment in the chat room that I really like. I'm going to say
What
it
is
out
it?
loud. They say, did you decide to make it a Python script because a function in Python is a def? It's a very, I like that joke a lot. When I first learned Python, I also thought it was very funny, but I forgot about that being a thing. So it's very funny. Good job.
So this is one of those levels that just sort of sucks.
That's an interesting, elaborate.
It's really hard damageless.
Well, first of all, that button was for Luigi and you're Princess Peach,
Yeah.
so that kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, but since this is 243, I don't need to play as Luigi, so I can make the level a little easier because it's easier as Peach. But if I was doing a 380 run, I'd have to do it as Luigi, and Luigi's slippery, so when you're on this little section here, it becomes harder to like skip stuff like I'm doing here because you don't have Peach's float. And yeah, Luigi just slips and falls everywhere and runs into those dry bones, and the dry bones just don't die because they're dry bones, and I hate them. But yeah.
Speaking of
But it's a-
IL levels,
it's a level.
This is one that you should search up if you are interested in IL levels of 3D World, because it is nuts. Like, the second half of this level is just completely skippable, and
Yep.
it's insane to watch.
I can point it out what they do, but I'm not going to do it because I am not doing what they do damageless. But essentially, you see these little candles on the wall, like I'm pointing at it right now. Those have collision. So you know what that means?
You can
It means
stand on
an
them.
auto-scroller skip.
Yep.
So instead of going through this massive room here, you just climb on the candles on the side here and just go across. Yeah, this part is the reason I hate the level, by the way, but platforming across the candles doesn't exactly seem easier than trying to make sure I can get all these peepos while trying to make sure the dry bones don't get too close to me.
What are they called?
I think they're called peepos.
Where does Nintendo come up with this stuff?
I have no idea.
Splornchkels or whatever the fireballs were called.
Splorgs and blorgs and peepas.
Aren't
This
they
is
like
nonsense.
oracles or something?
No, that's a game you
Orgles?
play in class.
Sounds like
Oh.
Dr. Seuss characters.
Yeah, I mean, they might be.
Splorgles and gloomfuls and dimbalbs
And heffalumps and woozles.
and green eggs and ham.
We have 21 green stars left. And
That's
we're still at
7
one hit of
levels.
damage. Yeah. Well, actually, no,
It's
not
less because
7
there's
levels.
there's a mystery.
There's a
house,
mystery
so,
house,
yeah,
and this
with a
gives us
lot of
like
them.
10. So this
And I
is
think 2 of the
pretty
boss
easy
fights as
mystery
well.
house. Yeah, there's 2 boss fights, and those only have 1. So
Oh, Martin
it's like
Baseball's
3
still here.
levels and 2 boss fights. No, and there's no Martin Baseball. This is the cat suit mystery house set. Also, if anyone's wondering why I've been collecting coins throughout the run, there's absolutely no reason. I just sort of have been.
You know, I really liked that.
Like, it's just something I do. I've been doing in all my damageless runs.
I
I
feel
just
like,
sort of do it.
you know, because you are so keen on using the cursor to help your adventure that, you know, you eventually just learn that there's downtime with the cursor as well. So you just collect coins in
Yeah.
that downtime.
Yeah, if I'm not using the cursor, something feels wrong, so I have to make
Exactly.
sure I'm using it.
This is speedrunning classic. We complain about our hand health all the time, but then any second there's downtime in a game, we're like, press as many buttons as possible.
Yeah, I gotta have the cursor go all around the screen because I'm not using it. Woo!
Like in Odyssey,
yeah,
it's-
look at it go!
In Odyssey, there's like a pretty distinct impulse to just want to mash buttons when you don't have control of Mario because like usually that means you're skipping a cutscene, right?
Right.
And it's gotten so bad that like in Fall Guys, I'll mash buttons and accidentally back out of maps, like
I've
out
done
of
that
matches
before.
because I'm mashing A and B at the same time, and that just so happens to be the combination of buttons that backs you out of like rounds. So.
Yeah, I've done that before.
It affects everything that I do now. I can't escape.
No escape. So I've done this a few other times throughout the run, but as it turns out, sometimes when you go like out of your way to some of the like side levels, it's faster to go to the map, warp to the beginning of the world, and walk to the next level. That's also part of the reason why like some of the level ordering has been weird, and I've saved like some of the earlier levels in worlds till later. It's just a little bit faster.
I know
Also, this is another
sorry.
really scary level, so fun stuff.
I know we were unable to confirm in our casual playthrough that we did, but did they patch the thing in this world where you can jump onto the pipe at the start of the overworld?
I'm like 90% sure
They
did.
definitely did, yes. It is not something that they can use in speedruns because it has been patched out, so.
That's what I thought, but I didn't want to say it and then be wrong. So
Because we tried it for a while.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, it's always interesting to me that, like, a game like this relies pretty heavily on your ability to play the levels properly. And the map screen is pretty simple. Like, there's not a whole lot to it, you know? You just, like, walk from one level to the next. So the fact that, like, there's actual, like, platforming glitches involved in the map of the game, that, like, I always thought that was really cool.
It's a really cool
yeah, they
glitch.
patched it out for this version. So this is just the Switch version of the game.
How often do y'all play a game through normally for the story before diving into speedrunning and skipping text/cutscenes? If not, are there many games where you wish you had learned the story before speedrunning it?
Oh, okay.
Nice save.
I pressed a button too early. No, that wasn't a nice save. That was just I didn't press the button too early. I didn't do anything there to save it. I just didn't mess up bad enough.
That's a good question from the chat.
Very rarely do I speedrun a game before playing it.
Yeah.
It has happened, but it's very rare.
I do know that there are folks, like, there are a lot of people in Odyssey speedrunning that, like, their experience of Odyssey for a very long time was just any percent. And it was, you know, a kind of a challenge. I remember a couple of notable gamers in the Odyssey community, like, trying an all moons run for the first time and having no idea where the other, like, 640 moons are. And then, like, it actually taking them, like, the better part of 24 hours to complete the entire challenge of getting all the moons. Like, there are some people who are like that, but I feel like, yeah, I'm speedrunning a game because I love it. Like, I'm speedrunning a game because, you know, at its fundamental level, what is speedrunning? You beating the game over and over and over again. Like, you're playing it over and over again. Like, that's what it is. You're just doing it a little bit faster each time. So you kind of have to love it in order to dedicate time to do that, right?
I will definitely say there are times where I'll like try a game, and part of my intention with trying that game is, oh, I'm sort of interested in speedrunning this.
Yeah, it can be a motivating factor for sure. There are some games that have like that reputation about them, right? Like Celeste, for example.
Yeah, that's not the norm. There's very rare instances that'll happen. Like Odyssey was honestly one of those instances. I wanted to get into a popular speedrun, and if any of you guys were around speedrunning when Odyssey came out, Odyssey was the hot thing. Everyone was hyping that game up as a game and as a speedrun. So I wanted to get on that. But I still played through the game casually at first. I didn't 100% it or anything because that's not something I normally do outside of speedrunning, which is kind of funny because a lot of the time when I do speedrun, I like doing the longer categories. But casually, I don't often do that.
I can't even think of the last game I speedran that I hadn't played. That's not true, actually. I've never beaten
Didn't you do
Majora's
that with like
Mask.
Didn't you do that with like Ratatouille or something?
No, I did a blind race of Ratatouille first, all the way through before I speedran it.
I mean, isn't a blind race sort of like immediately speedrunning a game in a way, though?
I mean, sure, but it is a casual playthrough. Like, I knew nothing
I
about the
guess so. I guess so.
And I'm sure I skipped the cutscenes, but I've seen the movie, so I don't think I'm really missing on anything.
I don't know. Sometimes the movie's different than the game.
I mean,
Ada.
the movie is definitely
You
different
you
than the
might be
game.
missing out. Okay.
Look, I just want to call out the games committee cowards not accepting Ratatouille 80%. The magnum opus of speedrunning.
I think to come back to that question a little bit, it also kind of depends
Danger's
on,
the recentrifying force of this show.
I'm actually just really attached to the questions right now. This question asking period has been fantastic. I love it.
I'm glad you enjoyed
It's
it.
it's been so fantastic. It's been half the stream.
Yeah, true.
I don't even know if it's a segment anymore.
I mean, you are
We-
doing the
we
game
should call-
Damageless.
Ada, if we should rename the show to Questions Approaching.
No.
Inquiries approaching.
No, this show's being renamed
Inquiries
to
approach.
Martin's show.
Inquiries incoming.
Inquiries, that's the segment name.
There it is.
This segment, Challenger Approaching, Inquiries Incoming,
Yep, half of every show.
sponsored by Martin Baseball.
Thank you, Martin Baseball.
Thank you, Martin Baseball, for providing the questions. Baseball.
So this is the same boss as earlier, except I'm forced to do the strategy that makes it easier because of all the lasers. So it's no harder than the previous fight.
Fur, there's a really juicy looking double cherry there. Why don't you go ahead and just grab that?
Well, that doubles my hitbox size, and you know, that's not a good thing if you're playing Damageless.
You know what? Understandable.
But if you really want me, I can grab one just for you.
If it's gonna put you in dangers, then I don't want you. Okay, well.
If it's gonna put you in dangers, oh my god.
Yeah. Now it's my likeness, so.
Oh, I can grab this one too if you want.
Oh, now we're all there.
Goodness.
Now we're all there. It's all three of us.
Hey, please don't get hit. I'll feel so bad. Oh,
Who's that?
That's Ray.
Ray's in it
That's
now
Ray.
too. Yeah. Welcome to the show, Ray.
All right, I have to take the ending a bit slower because if I try and do the same vector thing I normally do, one of them will die.
And which one will it be?
I don't know, and we're not going to find out.
That's I do love that thing in this game, right? Like you get a clone and then either can die instantly. So it's
Yeah.
like the original. Who's the original?
I feel like you're overthinking it.
Honestly,
And I mean, I've had this discussion with my chat, and I think it's a hive mind sort of thing, right? So they're all the same Luigi being controlled by Luigi, you know? He is all and one at the same time, you know?
Wow. So it's just like losing a part of him.
Yeah.
but does that mean
Sort of
that-
like how when he gets shorter, he loses a part of himself, and that the part is his height.
Does that mean that the more double cherries you eat, the more of you lose over time?
Or maybe it's
Dangers, this
creation.
is Mario, not philosophy.
Well, I mean, there are a lot
I
of
get-
morally questionable things in Mario games, I suppose.
I
so
get all of my moral decisions from Mario.
that
Ada,
you might want to seek some professional help in that regard.
I think I'm okay.
All right, well,
This
just
is the
don't
this is
jump
the
on your
last
neighbors
thing
when you're mad.
before the
That's all I
last
gotta say.
level.
I just jump on the Goombas.
Oh, okay, good.
Luigi Horcruxes. That's really funny.
All right, so that was the last level, or before the
Okay,
last
runs over.
level.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're almost done with the show, Ada. How does it feel?
I can't
We're
wait
gonna
for
be
it to
off
be
the air
over.
after this.
Can't wait. No, it'll be bittersweet. I'll cry.
Yeah, assuming I don't take damage on the last level, that means we will have continued the trend. In my first practice run before doing this showcase, I took 3 hits. The second one, I took 2 hits. In this one, we are currently at 1 hit. So
So that means we need to run it back, do it one
We
more
need to
time.
run it back.
0 hits on the next one.
I mean, we have 3 more hours, right, Ada?
No, there's actually a show after us for.
There's a show after.
Yeah. I know you're used to just everything going your way, but we can't cancel their show.
Yeah, I am perfect. I feel like I've made too many jokes like that this stream, and people are actually gonna think I'm full of myself.
Follow twitch.tv
Oh,
/for
no.
underscore. He's perfect.
No, you're leaning into it.
Yeah, of course I'm leaning into it.
Oh my god.
Yes, and fur. Come on.
This level is not that hard, by the way. And somebody's like, Fur, you're jinxing yourself. You're gonna take damage now. Well, I don't care.
We've actually, of all the damageless and hitless stuff we've had, nobody has ever actually done it on Challenger Approaching. We have yet to have a true damageless or hitless.
I heard you
performance.
had, I think, a Zelda run or something on here where it was one hit as well.
Was
it a Zelda run?
We've had Ocarina of Time hitless and Skyward Sword damageless. I can't remember the outcome of either, but I know that hits were taken.
Understandable. Yeah, I wanted to go back into that thing where something I deal with a lot when I've done damageless or hitless runs is people saying, Fur, you're jinxing yourself. And I say stuff like, oh, this is going great, or this is going well, or whatever, all the time. So usually something doesn't happen, and I firmly believe it has no impact on the run itself because of how much I make comments like that. So don't worry, chat. We're not going to take damage.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think I saw a
That's
little
nothing
wink
to
in
worry
there.
about.
I think I saw
That's
a tiny
confidence,
little
baby.
wink.
Are you going to be doing the boss skipperoonie thing?
Yes, that's an instance. I literally mentioned this trick earlier. It's an instance of sometimes speedrunning tricks make something like damageless easier because the speedrun strat of doing it is easier than the intended strat. And this is definitely an instance of that when it comes to damageless runs.
Yeah, in
Because
this
there's
case,
no way you can take damage while doing the skip.
Yeah, in this case, you're going to see it's not in this part here. It's the part like after this kind of corner part of the building. If you allow yourself to kind of follow the scroll of the screen, you're going to see Bowser kind of go through a sequence of attacks, and you're going to be present for them if you just stick around. Whereas what Fur's going to do instead kind of negates all of that because he'll be off screen for the entire thing.
I will say there is a Goomba that I might run into. I haven't done it yet, but it could happen.
There he goes. This game rocks.
This is the part where you get your jam emotes in the chat. No, it's not that song.
Okay.
I'm sorry you can't hear it, Ada. You're just gonna have to watch the VOD.
I can't wait to watch a thing I was present for.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is the Goomba that can ruin everything, but as long as I line myself up right, which I did, it's about in the middle of this like glass window right here. My controller will basically shake every time I land on something, and whenever that happens, I press B and just hold up. And,
Is it really that easy?
Yeah.
Whenever I saw it on the Wii U version,
really
I figured
easy.
it must be hard.
No, it's really easy.
That's kind of upsetting, actually.
The first, I've never practiced it. And the first time I got it was in a run, just sort of like, hey, I think I'm gonna try this. I looked where the guy jumped up, and I'm just gonna try and replicate that, and it worked. And there we go. I didn't take damage, just like I said, because the last level, well, earlier, but in the last level is not hard in 243. And 380 it's hard because of Champions Road, but
The time is coming up at the flagpole, right?
yeah. So I'll say time because it's at a weird spot. It's specific. Well, it might be different in 243. But in any percent, it's when like your points come up when you start sliding down the flagpole. So it'll be like 1,000 points or something like it right next to your name, like the flagpole points. But in 243, it might be different. It might be when all the stars tick in.
This isn't RTA anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
It's not. We're just gonna do. We'll do the 80%
Don't you have
one.
to wait for the credits then?
All right. So and time.
GG gamers, get your GGs out in chat for
We'll
Fur,
just go
and
with
be
the
sure
flagpole
to follow
points.
Fur _ on
GGs.
Twitch. only taking one hit in almost 3 hours of gripping gameplay.
Yeah,
Your
that wasn't
GGs in
that
the
bad.
chat.
I'm glad we got one hit. I'm disappointed the hit was as early in the run as it was, meaning it was like an hour in, but I mean, I'm okay with getting one hit throughout the entire run.
That's pretty sick. I think this is a great
Yeah.
showing.
Yeah, one thing I was worried about, because with speedrunning, I feel like it always looks impressive because you don't really have a point of reference. But I feel with Damageless, whenever, if you're doing like a hit counter, every time that hit counter goes up, it just becomes less and less impressive, and you know it's becoming less impressive. And I don't know, it feels like it's easier to be critical on it.
That's
from
fair.
like, yeah, so I was a bit nervous.
But GG gamer.
Yeah, GG's.
Fur Dangers, any final words?
Follow Dangers. Don't mind them, follow them.
I just showed up to say some words about it. I'm just,
Well,
don't mind me. Fur underscore.
Fur, what
Twitch
do you
underscore,
do on my
Fur
channel?
underscore.
Recently I've been pretty into Damageless stuff. We
what do you do on
recently
your
got
channel?
all 380
Just
green
finish up a
stars
little-
in this game, Damageless.
promo.
That was like a few weeks ago on stream. So I decided I want to do another Damageless challenge. So recently I've been learning Galaxy 120 stars as Luigi, the speedrun. And the goal is, after I get a little bit better on the speedrun, I'm going to do Damageless attempts of Galaxy 120 stars. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. I also do some other like speedrun stuff, like I do All Moons and Super Mario Odyssey once a week. And I've been mixing in some other like variety speedrun and challenge content as well. So yeah, consider checking me out.
excellent. Gamers, thank you so much for joining us on this Friday evening. Thank you for spending your Friday with us. There is more hotfix content still to come. So, right after this is Legally Cute featuring Rain World and Karma Flow. And then, of course, on Monday, that'll be our next show after that. The Community Spotlight will be featuring Marvel's Spider-Man and Miles Morales PS5 starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. Also, gamers, Frost Fatale's game and volunteer submissions are open right now until the 14th of this month. Go to gamesdonequick.com for more information. And gamers, I think that's going to do it for us here at Challenger Approaching, but please do stick around. There's more hotfix content coming up in just a few minutes. We just got to do the handoff to the next showrunner. And gamers, as always, thank you for watching. And my final words, of course, are Martin Baseball.